bespoke radio for the masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
I need your help to get to the year 1985.
You're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Good evening, night, Fade to Black, bespoke radio for the masses. Yeah. How you doing? How you doing? Today's Thursday, June 17th, 2021. 169 days into the new year. Only 196 days left. We are live from a bunker somewhere in the middle of nowhere. A total undisclosed location. But it is beautiful. It really is. I would like to welcome everybody listening all around the world, all across the United States. Hither and thither, to and fro, back and forth, up and down, east and west, north and south, far and near. This is Fade to Black for KJCR, the Game Changer Network, and KGRA, the planet. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. What is cracking, everybody? How you doing? It's Thursday night. It's Fadernight. Yeah, man. Let's go. Somebody just said I look tanned. I'm in California. The whole friggin' state got tanned. Oh, man. It's hot. It's hot. I mean, like it's hot. Man, I had to pick out my thinnest T-shirt today. I'm just like, man, I gotta go thin. I gotta go thin. Yeah, it's hot. It's hot. Well, it's Thursday night. It's open lines all night long. Your calls, your conversation. We're going to talk about UFOs tonight. We're going to talk some conspiracy tonight. Well, you are. This is your show, right? It's your show. So, UFOs, conspiracy, time travel, the paranormal, the supernatural, lost history, pop culture, guitars, food, entertainment. How you doing? And it goes without saying that Fadernight is the greatest night in all of talk radio in all of the world. The unscripted, uncensored, unscreened, and unfiltered phone calls that you bring, it is just a party. It's a great night, and I just can't wait to always get here. It seems like we haven't had a Fadernight in a couple of months. I was thinking about it. When was the last time we had a Fadernight? It's been a while. All right, it's been a while. So, there you go. I haven't opened up the phone lines yet, but we will do that at the bottom of the hour. Oh, man, it's Fadernight. I have worked about a month straight. No days off. It's been a rough one. A lot of fun. Don't get me wrong, but I'm looking forward to this weekend. I am looking forward to relaxation. Yeah. I've already made plans in my own mind what I am going to do with all of that. But tonight it is open lines. It is Fadernight, and I'll open up the phone lines at the bottom of the hour. I've been posting, and I did this yesterday with John Ferris. And he's officially with us now. He's now a member of the Fadernight family. He's a sponsor here. But, and I did some posts yesterday throughout social media of some of his art, and it's just incredible. And looking at everybody's reactions, and even Deb from Sacramento posted, she went and got herself some of John Ferris bling. But he is incredible. He is absolutely incredible. And the responses about, how many people appreciate his art. And that was really cool. So go and visit John at his websites. We don't have everything up right now over at jimmychurchradio.com, but we will soon. But what a cool dude. What a cool dude. And meeting him and hanging out and just seeing how he does things, he's just insanely great. Truly world class. World class means world class, and that's what John Ferris is. Okay, let's get the show started. It's Fader night. It's Thursday night. It's open lines. I'm really looking forward to this. And right now, you can follow me on Twitter at jchurchradio. At jchurchradio. Follow me right there. Hashtag F2B is the sandbox. And we've got the chat rooms over at Spreaker. Let me spin around. There's Catalina. I see that from over here. I see Catalina. Hello to everybody over in Spreaker chat. And, of course, the troublemakers over in YouTube. And let me come over here and see what's going on. Let's see. Who's got chopped already? Who's gotten chopped? I'll do it, man. I'll do it. Okay, there's Bill manning the shop. He'll let me know if everybody's behaving. But welcome to everybody. This is my favorite night of the week. All right. Follow me on Twitter at jchurchradio. Hashtag F2B is the sandbox. We have Spreaker. We have Facebook. Hello to everybody over on Facebook. I haven't had a chance. There's all these, different, and that includes TalkStream Live and KGRA and iHeart and TuneIn and everywhere we broadcast out to. I don't have a chance to do that stuff during the show. One of these nights, I just need to go hang out with Facebook. Have Facebook right here. And let's see. Facebook is, I've never even gone over there. And I'm sure there are people on Facebook right now going, yep. We hang out. And let me see if I can do this really, really fast. Let me go over. And yeah, that's right. Okay, so that's on the radio page. I've never done this. I have never, ever done this. Okay. Where is it? Isn't it here? So, there it is. It's right there. Okay. Right here. I'm now. Hello, Facebook. What is up? Now, now they know that's me. Oh, see, I'm posting as Jimmy Church Radio. Looks great. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay, let me mute that. Yeah. Hello, Facebook. How you guys doing? All right, let's get this show cracking. Got a lot to do. It's Fader night. It's open lines. Let's get to the breaking news. I posted this earlier today. Frank Bonner, rest in peace. Frank, of course, played the radio station salesman Garlic on the hit 1970s sitcom WKRP in Cincinnati. Died yesterday. Wow, at the age of 79 right here in Southern California. Frank, who later became a TV director, by the way, passed away peacefully at his home. And rest in peace. Man, the plaid jackets. Shirley, right? Frank Bonner, rest in peace. All right, here at Fade to Black, we have been talking about UFOs and how it's been in the media and it's out front and center, and the UAPTF task force report that is about to be presented, and how the U.S. government is taking the phenomenon seriously, and that's all we've been talking about. the last few months, last few years. Well, now J.J. Abrams is getting in on the act, and he is producing a four-part documentary series about UFOs. In fact, that's what it's called, about unidentified flying objects. He's doing all of this for, talking about going mainstream, Showtime. The Viacom CBS network will premiere the new series called UFO on August 8th. It will drop all 4 episodes at midnight. The series will look at what clandestine influence the American government, lucrative private companies, and the military may have in shielding the truth behind extraterrestrial phenomena to further their own agendas. All right, here we go. Everybody getting in on the action. Now it's J.J. Abrams. Wow. John McAfee's back in the news. And I don't know if you saw his tweet yesterday, but he said yesterday on Twitter that he is broke and that his entire crypto fortune is gone. McAfee has been behind bars in Spain since October of 2020 on a U.S. warrant over money laundering and tax evasion. The McAfee antivirus founder tweeted, and I quote, "I have nothing, yet I regret nothing. The U.S. believes I have hidden crypto. I wish I did, but it has dissolved through the many hands of Team McAfee. Your belief is not required. And my remaining assets are all seized. My friends have evaporated through fear of association." McAfee could soon be extradited to the United States, with a ruling set to come from Spanish courts in the next couple of days. If extradited, McAfee will face court charges of evading taxes between 2014 and 2018 that carry a prison sentence of up to 30 years. Wow. Well, Texans can carry handguns without a license. That's right. Or training, starting September 1st, after Governor Greg Abbott yesterday signed the permitless carry bill into law. House Bill 1927 eliminates the requirement for Texas residents to obtain a license to carry handguns if they're not prohibited by state or federal law from possessing a gun. Yeah, you still need a license to have a gun, but once you do, you can now carry it anywhere. 20 other states have similar laws in place. Texas is not the first, but if you are walking around with a handgun, any police officer in Texas can question you about it, get your ID, run a background check, all without reason. So it's kind of cool for Texans, I guess. Okay, all right. But there's that little caveat at the end of that was written into the law. All right, let's get the show cracking. Happy birthday to, I'm going to say it, I love this guy. I always have. Barry Manilow. Barry Manilow. Today is 78. I went back today and watched some Barry Manilow videos right here in the bunker. My manly bunker. This is a manly place. That's right. And it was Barry Manilow today in here. Man, he was just great. Still is. Barry Manilow today, 78 years old. George Clinton. Man, Parliament. The original funk machine right there. George Clinton today, 74 years old. Paul Young. Remember Paul Young? Paul Young today is also 74 years old. Every time you go away. I know you sing that song. Tap your toes to that. Hanoi Rocks frontman legend Michael Monroe today is just 59 years old. Our dead guy's birthday today is Cliff Gallup. Cliff Gallup, 1930 to 1988, died at the age of 58. Cliff was the OG original gangsta guitarist who played the rock and roll with Gene Vincent and his Blue Caps back in the 1950s. Gallup played on 35 tracks with Vincent, including his biggest hit, Bebopalula, right there, the start of the rock and roll. Think about that. And established a reputation as one of the most technically proficient guitarists in early rock and roll. As a married man, Gallup was reluctant to go on tour with Gene Vincent. So he left the band. He quit in 1956, returning only for some more studio sessions that same year for the second LP by Vincent and his Blue Caps. Then he just walked away from the whole guitar god thing. He did. He just walked away. At the time of his death in 1988, he was the director of maintenance and transportation for the Chesapeake, Virginia City School System, where he worked for almost 30 years after leaving Gene Vincent and his Blue Caps. Wow. Happy birthday, Cliff Gallup. Incredible story. On this day in history, OTD 1974 went down. I saw it live. I did. O.J. Simpson leads the L.A. police on a low-speed chase live on TV along the 405 freeway right here in Los Angeles. Fader fact. Now, I've whipped out some Fader facts over the years. It's my job. That have been pretty incredible, kind of hard to believe, but they're all vetted and they're all true. I'm going to write that Fader fact book. I'm going to put that thing together. But this one is one for the books. Fader fact. Story Musgrave, the astronaut. Story Musgrave did not strap in on STS-80 before re-entry. Nah, Story didn't sit down. Instead, didn't put on his seatbelt. No. Instead, he stood up on the flight deck in the aisle, surfing the space shuttle while it decelerated from 17,000 miles per hour to 0 during re-entry. He is the only person to have seen re-entry plasma with his bare eyes. Story Musgrave. Man, dude is nuts. That's a. Can you imagine? I mean, re-entry, man. There's the Earth. You're going into the atmosphere, and you're just surfing with the alien. My man. I spoke to him a couple of times many years ago about coming on the show, and he was pretty cool about it. And then he bailed. Huh. There you go. Tonight is Fadernight. It is open lines all night long. It's your calls, your conversation. We're going to talk about UFOs, conspiracy, time travel, the paranormal, supernatural, right? Lost history. Yeah. Pop culture, entertainment, food, Lucky Charms. We're going to do all of that tonight, opening up the phone lines at the bottom of the hour. Now, I'm going to hit this River Moon coffee. Fade to Black blend, rivermoonwellness.com. All the links are at jimmychurchradio.com. Help support the show by drinking the best coffee in the world. It's the best coffee in the world. Nothing better. Nothing is better. All right. Visit our Amazon store, too, as well. Okay? And the links are over at jimmychurchradio.com. Yeah, there's Story. That dude is business. Story Musgrave. All right. As promised, I had said at UFO MegaCon that I was gifted a bunch of stuff from the Fadernauts, and I brought some of it in tonight. I didn't bring in all of it, and I want to say to Rodney, your T-shirt that you made for me is not here. So I'm gonna do a special thing for Rodney next week, and that shirt is just incredible. So anyway, Rodney, think about that, and your letter and story meant a lot to me. So I'm gonna hold that off till next week. But anyway, one of the great things about any conference, which is the reason why I go, is to hang out with the Fadernauts. That's the best part about it. And we have had our booth for so many years where I am able to just sit and greet and say hello to everybody all day. It's my favorite thing to do. I just want to sit and talk and meet everybody. And it has its perks. And for me, the Fadernauts that bring me stuff because they listen to the show and there's something there for them that, and they bring, and it's just so cool for me to go through this. So I have a few things, and oh man, I got to start with this first. I got the kit. This is part of the kit from a Fadernaut. Alien vodka. Look at that. ET vodka. Alien vodka. Haven't opened it yet, and I didn't have to because it came with a little small mini-me alien vodka. That got drank. But this didn't, and but it's incredible. Thank you. But that's not it. I got these very, very cool skull shot glasses. And I didn't open them, so I'm going to unbox them here on the air. And I got a couple of them. And so here they are. Oh, man. That's cool. Can you see that? Now, it looks like the other one's a little different, but maybe not. But very, man, that's a big shot. But so I got these. Thank you. And that is just from the heart. You know that somebody really thought about that. So thank you. Got those. Okay, so this Fadernaut came up to Richard Dolan and I. And she comes up and she says, "Hey, I heard your last show with Richard, and you guys were talking about jazz, and you guys always talk about the music at the beginning of the show, and you want to know what is the last song that Richard listened to that day." Obviously, that's so cool because she is on top of what this show was about, and with Richard. And the last show, Richard and I ended up talking about Herbie Hancock, and we talked about Miles, and we talked about Coltrane, and talked about John Lennon, and we did all of this stuff. And so this is what was gifted. Next. She says, "My husband was Herbie Hancock's photographer." And I'm going to gift you this photograph that he took of Herbie. And look at his glasses. You can see the piano reflection in his glasses. This is an unpublished personal photograph. And, the documentation on the back and how the photograph was taken. And there you go. I mean, how incredible is that? Look at that. And I think this was taken at the Blue Note. Yeah, at the recording of We Are the World in 1985 A&M Studios in Los Angeles. That's where that was taken. And then she gifted me this. She gave Richard and I both got the same photographs. Picture of John Lennon at his house in Hollywood, in the backyard, just kicking it. And there's a whole story on the back. And her husband's name is Cyril Maitland. And wow, look at that picture of John. How cool is that? Whew. I mean, just great stuff. And I've got more too as well. All right, so let me put these back over here. Got this from Sarah Adams. And this is a spray, with those oils. You just smells so good. So essential oils, got that. And then this, it's supplement. It's called D-Spark. And she goes, put that in your coffee in the morning. Put a dropper, full dropper. She comes up to me. We went out that night. She comes up to me the next morning, and I'm drinking my coffee. She goes, today, 2 droppers. I know what you did last night. So I got that from Sarah Adams, and I got a stack of books. I got these images from Jordan Pease, and he got these framed. These are all from the conference. So there's myself and Danny Sheehan, and very cool. There's one special picture in here. This is Nicole Sakic and N.K. Kranda, who was with us last night, and myself and Clifford Mahudi. And this is an unpublished picture. I want you to look at Nicole's legs. Look at that. Okay, so Clifford Mahudi literally fell on the ground. Here's a shot of that's Alan Seinfeld, Danny Sheehan, Mark Sims, and myself. And again, these are all framed, and I want to thank Jordan for doing that. These are high quality prints. This is myself and Jordan Pease, and of course Bob Brown, the producer of UFO MegaCon. That's a great shot of all of us. So thank you, Jordan, for these. I've got a stack of books. I'm running out of time that I got from different authors. I wanted to go through those too as well. And I've got some other stuff that I'll show you guys next week. So there you go. That's some of the gifts. Oh. And quite possibly my favorite piece. This is from Carol, my roommate. She, her booth, I've known Carol for a long time. But these are the alien heads that she makes. And these are incredible. She makes these herself. But anyway, she gave me this one because she said, Jimmy, it's special. He's smiling, and there's a little jewel in there that, and he's got this smile going on. Thank you so much, Carol. It was great hanging out with Carol all week. She was the best roommate. We started off with different shelves in the refrigerator, but by the end of the conference, we were breaking into each other's food. Carol, you are the absolute very best. I can't wait to see you. Be back up there in November. I'll be up there with Paula Harris and Star Works, right there, Aquarius Hotel, and I'll see everybody back there then. Carol's going to be there, and it's going to be a really cool repeat performance to see friends once again up at Star Works in Laughlin, Nevada. I am your host, Jimmy Church. I'm going to take a quick break right here. I'm going to come back and open up the phone lines. It is Thursday night. It is Fadernight. Open lines all night long. 747-228-2051. You can follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. Hello to everybody out there. It's going to be a great night. We finally got to a real Fader night. I'll be right back with your phone calls after this short break. Stay with me.
This is Nicole Church, daughter of you-know-who, and you're listening to Fade to Black on JimmyChurchRadio.com and the Game Changer Network.
You're listening to Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
Fade to Black will now pause for alien identification.
The station that talks the net. KGRA Radio. Introducing the Game Changer blend from Rivermoon Coffee that delivers a customized blend made specifically for the Fadernauts. If the game is rigged, change the game. It's a bolder cup with some bite. Game Changer is the coffee of choice for those that prefer an organic dark roast that is slightly lighter and milder. but it's still Doc. With wild notes of pecans and chocolate with a rich, balanced, full-bodied cup that is roasted to perfection for a great coffee to start your day, as an after-dinner coffee or anywhere in between. Artisan, small batch roasted to perfection. USDA certified organic, all River Moon coffee is freshly roasted and packaged in the USA. Just go to rivermooncoffee.com or click on the banners over on our site and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. rivermooncoffee.com.
This is the only way forward.
This is Fade to Black. Make contact. KGRAradio.com.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can get our podcast for just $2 per month. All you have to do is click on the podcast banner over at jimmychurchradio.com.
Hi, folks. It's troubling times, and fear is pushing emotions, which in turn pushes health the wrong direction. Do you ever get an ache because life is uneasy? Try Life Change Tea at getthetea.com. Life Change Tea works on your digestive tract, helping to move food through quicker and comfortably so your health is spot on. Life Change Tea may not help with world issues, but it will help with your digestive issues. A glass a day helps keep the intruders away. So, change your life today. Log on to getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. If your health game is off, get on by ordering Life Change Tea. Getthetea.com. And while you're on our site, look around at the great non-GMO organic supplements. And if you're a sales shopper, go to our specials page and see what's for you. I've been drinking the tea for 12 years and I'm sure glad for its health benefits. Again, that's getthetea.com. Getthetea.com. The tea that makes you go.
Fadernauts. When you think about the future of our country and where we're headed, do you wonder about the food supply? I do. Disruptions in the food supply chain could be disastrous, and they usually occur with little warning. That's why the smartest thing you can do today is to stockpile emergency food, water, and other essentials. I personally recommend My Patriot Supply. They're the nation's largest emergency preparedness company, serving millions of customers for more than a decade. In fact, they're the only source my family trusts for our preparedness plan. You should too. Right now, save 20% off a full 4-week supply of delicious meals that provide 2,000 calories a day. Saving 20% helps too, doesn't it? Especially now. So go to preparewithjimmy.com and get ready. That's preparewithjimmy.com. There's no time to lose. Do it now.
9 out of 10 geneticists agree.
Fade to Black is not your father's radio show on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the planet.
Hi, this is Rob Reiner from Anvil, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
What's up? I'm Chris. What up? This is Kyle Massey, and you're listening to Jimmy Church Radio.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. It is Thursday night. It is Fadernight. Open lines all night long. 747-228-2051. Your calls, your conversation. Unscreened, unfiltered, uncensored. That's the way we do it here. It's your conversation. It's my favorite night of the week. And lots of stuff to talk about. Lots of stuff. We know what has been going down. And the media is on top of this. We know about the Pentagon and the IG. We have the UAPTF report, everything that has been happening in the media and the Washington Examiner this week and everything else. So lots to discuss. And so let's do this. Let's go straight to the phones. Let's see who is up first. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? Oh man, are we going to start off? Are we going to start off tonight like that? All right, let me see. Let's the phone lines are going off the hook.
Let's do this over here. And let's see what's happening over here. And I'm putting you on hold. Stay right there. Putting you on hold. This is how we're going to start off Fadernight. Phone lines are jammed up. And I'm putting you on hold. Stay right there. Putting you on hold. You just stay right there. And let's see who has been on hold the longest. Let's go here.
4 1.
No. Okay. All right. Let's swing over here. The phones are insane. I can't keep up with this. This is great. Okay. I am putting you on hold. You stay right there. Man, I need to get somebody to just start answering these phones. That's I enjoy answering them myself. I do, but wow. Okay. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Jimmy, this is Raul from Chicago again, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good, Raul. How are you?
Good. Hey, listen, man, I was listening to your show yesterday. 2 things I want to let you know. The cube you're talking about.
Uh-huh.
Did you see the picture I sent you about the cube?
No. You sent me a picture about the cube in email?
In email, yes.
Okay.
About a week and a half ago.
Oh, man. Come on, man. Do you know how many? Do you know how many a week and a half ago? That's 10,000. That's 10,000 emails buried.
You should put a little star every time I send you some emails, man. Next to my name.
Okay. Okay. So what's going on?
No, listen, man. The picture with the cube. I'm gonna send it to you again, but man, what you guys were talking about yesterday, I can't happen to think of how exact picture of the cube, the description you guys are talking about, is the same cube that I sent you.
Oh, interesting. Okay, yeah, resend it again, and I'll keep a lookout for it. I would like to see it.
Right. And one other thing I want to ask you, what's your take on giants, as far as, back in the days, Nephilim?
Well,
as far as giant bones and stuff like that.
Well, my take is I would love to see some evidence, but I've got... there's one comment that I have about that. When I was growing up in Chicago, I remember specifically an ad and people talking about at the Field Museum. I lived in Chicago, and I would go to the Field Museum all the time. And there was this chatter that the Field Museum used to have, and they would advertise it. There at the entrance to the museum, you would go in. I think when you go in, the first thing you see is like this Tyrannosaurus Rex, right? This skeleton. It's crazy.
Correct.
But they used to have like this 10-foot human skeleton there, and now it's gone. And I remember it. I remember seeing pictures of it and the Field Museum and a poster. I remember this in around 1970. But I don't think it was on display in 1970, but I remember people talking about it. And and it seems like I saw it in a Field Museum book, but now nothing. And it all disappears. Yeah, that's my memory. That's my memory. This isn't somebody telling me about this, or this was some rumor. No, I remember it specifically. So I think that there is something to it. When you go on the net and you see all the fake pictures, people next to giant skulls that are 8 feet in diameter, and they're in some
stuff like that, right?
No, I'm not buying into any of that. But there's a lot of
when I was in Mexico. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
There's a lot of evidence about giants on Catalina Island, right off the coast in Southern California. And I mean, they're Smithsonian showing up and getting the bones and the skeletons and the remains, and then throwing it in the ocean. I know. So what do you think? What do you think's going on?
I think it's true. I have a picture of a footprint I wear a size 12. this thing got to be over 28 inches. I'll send you a picture of that. That's my foot next to it. I have a handprint that's from the palm is probably from your waist. Maybe the top of your finger, the middle finger goes above your head. That's how big the handprint is. You cannot tell that's a handprint. When I took the picture on this wall, I was like, man, look at those lines. That looks great. But I did not notice it until I left the mountain. And when I left it, I came back down. I saw the pictures on my phone. Like, wait a minute, that was a freaking handprint.
Well,
so,
yeah. Continue. Go ahead.
So it's not like carved; it's engraved. Like if they molded, like if this handprint was, like if someone molded like a clay.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how your handprint stays on there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's basically what it looked like.
Right. And if you have ever seen, somebody's going to post it right now on Twitter, the very famous picture of Michael Tellinger in Africa next to that footprint. And
I've seen that one.
Yeah, which is vertical, right? So obviously at one point that was, flat on the ground. But just look at that. It's just crazy to see that. So you just know that there were big things at some point. Now but this is okay. This is what you have. This is what you have to consider with that. There must have been. And I know this is going way fringe and outside of confirmed science and things. But in order for us to be taller, there would have to be less gravity. The reason why we are there, here's the picture of Michael Tellinger right here. I'm looking at it. And that footprint is, that is just amazing. And that is a real footprint, and it is what it is. But anyway, gravity must have been less. That's why we are 6 foot tall. We're 6 foot tall. We are the height that we are because gravity over hundreds of millions of years, and that goes with everything on this planet, has made us the size that we are. You go to another planet that's got a lot less gravity, and you're going to have bigger beings. You're going to go to a planet that's got more gravity, and you're going to have shorter, right? And that's just the way that it is. So, in order for giants to have existed here, we had to have had less gravity. And I don't know if science is okay with that, right? Where they're going to go, well, yeah. So it's a difficult thing to prove because of that. It's a tough thing, but I think that there's evidence of it. And you look at this footprint with Michael Tellinger, and I'm going to guess, and looking at this, that's got to be a 50 foot. That's got to be a 50 foot tall human.
I'm gonna send you these. I'm gonna send you these pictures, man. I'm telling you.
Okay.
I'm telling you. Whatever's there existed. And what if, you know what? Here, I'm just gonna let this out. How about if I know where's one buried?
You do?
Will you go with me to Mexico? To dig it up?
What part of Mexico? Is it
I'll
safe?
Down low, man. I'll tell you off the air.
Okay, all right. Put it in an email. Send me that picture. I want to see the picture of the cube, and send me the picture of the handprint.
I'm gonna send you a picture. I'm gonna tell you something. Put your fingers together like a gun. You know, like you're making a gun, right?
Mm-hmm.
So spread it about 5 more inches.
That's what it is?
That's your bottom jaw of this thing.
Wow. All right, well, send it. I want to check it out.
The forearm of this thing is from your finger in front to past your shoulder.
Wow. That's a big dude. That's a Michael Tellinger dude. Yeah.
I would take you there. You can see it for your own self. You could take whatever security you want.
Right.
You could take anything that you want.
Right.
You know, I'll meet you before we go. and you can see this for yourself.
Thank you so much, Raul. Shoot me that email. Great way to kick off the show tonight. Thank you so much, my friend.
Right,
enjoy the rest of your night.
Buddy. All right, you too. Okay, bye.
Fade to black. The Giants situation, right? What do we do with that? And I think there's a lot of evidence out there. That picture with Michael Tellinger, which I've looked at this so many times over the years. I just go back and look at it. That is real. That's real. That's not fake. You can see that was mud at one time, and you can see how it's squished up. But that is just an amazing image. It's an amazing image. Michael's a good dude. Had Michael over at the house. Hung out one night. Oh, man. I didn't want him to leave. He didn't want to leave, but we had to be up at like 7 o'clock in the morning for a conference. And he left it at about 2. I remember the next morning, he's up, man. He's bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. And I looked, he knew what we did the night before. I'm like, man, what are we doing standing here? And it was great. Anyway, Michael Tellinger, that picture is incredible. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy. It's Carrie from Palm Springs.
Hi, Carrie.
How are you?
I am fantastic. It was so great meeting you last week. And you know what you did? Oh. You left without getting a Fade to Black shirt.
I know. I did. I totally forgot to go to the booth. That's okay. I'll come back in November. Save me a T-shirt.
Okay. Well, I forgot too, so we're both guilty. But I thought about that. I was looking at. Wait a minute. She didn't get a shirt. So yeah, we'll get you hooked up in November. November's coming up though. Where are we right now? So we're like almost in. It's July, August, September, October. Yeah. So we're just 4 months away. And that's going to go. That's a blink.
I'm going to make my reservation early because I made the fatal mistake of not knowing if I could go to Laughlin this past trip until kind of the last minute. So when I went online, I was lucky. I found like the last room in Laughlin. And I only found one for Friday night. So I had to leave the conference on Saturday. I really wanted to see Johnny Enoch and Billy Carson, their presentations and other presentations on Saturday, but I could only make it one day. I had to leave. It was.
Did you have fun?
I had the best time. It was a thrill meeting you. You were so warm and kind and welcoming, and I got to meet Johnny Enoch, Richard Dolan, Sid Goldberg. I just had the best time hanging out with the Fadernauts. I went on a skywatch and saw all kinds of cool things, met other Fadernauts there. I just had the best time. Thank you so much. It was so fun.
Yeah, it was so cool. It was a great conference, but you were pretty smooth. You know, you just come up and, hi, Jimmy. And I said, hi, what's your name? It's Carrie. It's like, get out of here.
I was waiting for that moment.
Yeah, you played it, man. You played it. You played it well. But that was pretty cool. Well, and for me to be able to go around, it's Carrie from Palm Springs. Yeah, that was awesome. That was awesome. That was just awesome. As everybody can hear, I didn't get the audio thing fixed today. I worked on that all day today. I cannot turn off this audio. Right now, I'm not answering phones or anything, and there's like 30 people calling. So my screen's lit up with all of these incoming calls, right? And then they eventually end and hang up, and so you get that boom, and that's what that is. I can't shut it off. Right there.
Man. I hear that.
Yeah.
I can't shut it off. I listened to the show and I heard it last night. I heard it all week, I think.
It's this new update, and I tried to go backwards, to the previous version, and man, I'm just stuck. Okay, enough of that. Everybody just have to put up with that stupid thing, and there you go. Okay, so what was your highlight though of the conference?
Well, you mean aside from meeting you in person?
Okay, all right, okay.
Yep. No. Highlight. I think the coolest moment was when you were the MC, and you had Dolan and Danny Sheehan and Sid Goldberg and Richard Doty.
Right.
And as you're talking about Lue Elizondo, your flippin' phone rings, and it's Lue Elizondo.
Yeah. You were there for that.
That was a synchronicity, and I wouldn't have believed it if I wasn't there.
I know,
so
right?
I was glad I was there.
Yeah. I was. I didn't even know how to handle it, and you could tell. That was. But we got out of it okay. But it was. It was like, wow. So anyway, yeah, that was pretty cool. Did you go out with this later?
I hung out with you guys one night on kind of the patio by the river walk.
Was that the cabana?
I'm not sure what it was.
All right. Oh no, I know what you're talking about. When we were on the patio outside of the restaurant.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh man, we were out there for like 2 or 3 hours. That was fun.
Yes, that was so fun.
I had to bail. I left you guys sitting there. How late did you guys stay?
I left. Sid and I left. And maybe I think you left. Then Jordan Maxwell left.
That's
and
right.
Sid and I just happened to be there, and we walked out.
You got to sit with Jordan Maxwell, Sid Goldberg, Sarah Adams, Johnny Enoch.
Mm-hmm.
Man, you were the woman about town. Yeah.
It was so fun. Johnny Enoch was so sweet. Oh, what a sweetheart. It was hilarious because I had just shown up. I didn't even have a ticket. I had to buy it in person. Johnny Enoch standing there, and I go, "Are you Johnny Enoch?" He's like, "Yes." And then he's like, "How do you know me?" I said, "I heard you on Fade to Black." He goes, "Are you a Fadernight?" And I said, "Yes, I am." And then you had just walked in, and I couldn't see you because you were behind me. And Johnny's so tall, he could see you over there, and he's like, "Hey, Jimmy, I've got one of your Fadernauts over here." It was just like I just arrived, and like, boom, everything happened. It was so cool.
Johnny, right now, as you and I are talking, Johnny is in Cairo. He's posting pictures right now. He just landed. He got to the hotel, and he's posting pictures from his patio.
Are you serious?
Of the Great Pyramid. And
I told him the next time we all do a trip, I want to go. I want to be on the Egypt trip.
Yeah. So we're going to do it in March. And what's crazy is we're going to go do that in March. We're going to come back and go straight to Laughlin. It's like we're going to land. We're going to land at Las Vegas International and go straight to Laughlin and do the conference. But
hilarious.
Yeah, crazy. So that's what he's that's what he's doing right now. He's in Cairo posting pictures.
Which platform is he on?
Twitter or Facebook?
Instagram?
I don't know if he's I saw it on Facebook right before the show. Yeah.
How funny.
Yeah.
Wow,
yeah.
he's a cool dude.
No, he's amazing. And now, Bob Brown and his family and Gordon and Jordan Pease and, that whole team. The man at the center of everything is Johnny Enoch. And the props cannot be loud enough for what that man means to this conference. And Johnny Enoch just he gets it done. And like right now he's in Cairo, right? He comes in. Yeah, he comes in from Vancouver. Does UFO MegaCon. That's he and Bob's event, and Gordon. They're the guys putting that entire thing together. And he turns around and he's over in Cairo doing his tour with Mohammed.
Wow.
Yep, and he's over there with Mike Ricksecker. Mike Ricksecker is in Cairo right now. He's part of that tour. Yeah.
How cool.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Well, listen, Carrie, I got to jump. I got to.
Okay.
I got to get to phone calls. It was great meeting you and hanging out. I can't wait to see you in November. You rock.
All right.
You rock. Thank you so much, Carrie.
You rock. Take care.
I'll talk to you. Bye. I did a post of Carrie, and I really mean this. She's as cool as you think she is. She is dynamic. She's fun, and she is beautiful inside and out. Great smile, and she is exactly what you think she is from these phone calls. She's just incredible. And so, yeah, Carrie, can't wait to see you in November. It's going to be awesome. And just behave out there. And we'll see you on Monday. We got a great show or a great week lined up for Fade to Black next week. I cannot wait to make these announcements over the weekend. With that, I'm going to take a quick break. It is Thursday night. It is Fadernight. Open lines all night long. 747-228-2051. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. I'll be right back after this short break. Stay with us.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station, Salt Lake City, Utah, Van Buren, Arkansas.
This is Billy Carson with ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. Forbidden Knowledge TV has just reached its 1-year anniversary. That's right. 1 year. And as a show of appreciation, we are giving all new subscribers a free 30-day trial of ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. That's 30 days to binge watch thousands of movies, documentaries, conferences, workshops, lectures, yoga classes, meditation courses, and so much more. So log on to ForbiddenKnowledge.tv from your computer or mobile device, or get the Forbidden Knowledge TV app on Apple TV, Roku, Amazon, iTunes, or Google Play today, and use coupon code 30daysfree. That's coupon code 30 days free on ForbiddenKnowledge.tv today.
Because you never got that pony you always wanted. Damn it. Jimmy Church and Fade to Black on the Game Changer Network. KGRADB.com.
Listen, I know, and you know, that you've always wanted your first crystal skull. Or maybe you're a collector just like me, but you just don't know where to go to find the real thing. Then I met Carolyn Ford over at EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com. Carolyn is the guardian of Einstein, one of the most respected ancient crystal skulls in the world. All of her unique skulls have been imprinted sitting with Einstein in his sacred lodge and are carved from the finest gemstone and materials. Imprinting is the process of receiving the ancient wisdom from the master skull or master computer. Einstein, the ancient crystal skull. To see Carolyn's current collection of crystal skulls, just visit her store at EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com or click on the banner over on our site. Don't forget to use the promo code Jimmy at checkout to receive 10% off of your order today. That's promo code Jimmy. Finding your first or next crystal skull is easy. Just visit EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com. When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Yes, Rivermoon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today.
Hello, I'm Katie, and you're listening to my main man, Jimmy Church, on jimmychurchradio.com.
Hi, this is Ray Hobbs here, repping the planet, and you're listening to my good friend, Jimmy Church, Fade to Black, on the Game Changer Network and the KGRA digital broadcast station.
This is Toby Kebbell. You're listening to jimmychurchradio.com. Don't hurt me, Jimmy. I'm only little.
Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier. And this is Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers. Yes. We are of the Honey Brothers. Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier.
And I'm Ari Gold.
We're the Honey Brothers.
And you're listening to Jimmy Church.
The Revolution.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can become an official Fadernight by just going to our membership section at jimmychurchradio.com.
Hello, this is Serena Wright Taylor from Conscious Life Expo, and you're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church, who holds the Lucky Pony record for the best astrological chart since 1963. True story.
This is Micah Hanks of the Gralien Report, and you're listening to Jimmy Church on Fade to Black, across the globe on the Game Changer Radio Network and the one and only KGRA Radio, The Planet.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Thursday night, Fader Night, 747-228-2051. 747-228-2051. Open lines all night long. My favorite night of the week. Let's go straight back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy Church. This is Dave at Large.
How you doing, Dave at Large?
Oh, very well. Doing very well this evening, and very happy to be here for Fader Night, and as well as getting a chance to hear everything about the whole convention that you attended. So that's I like the news that's coming in, but just to start off, I had a very very keen observation on a very controversial topic. Do you mind if I jump in there?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
All right. Lest we offend our AI overlords. Okay. They, on certain states in the U.S., they opened up a lottery for people getting vaccinated. They would get a chance to win a lottery prize they would get a chance to win by getting vaccinated.
Okay.
So, basically, the chances of winning this are 1 in a million, right?
That's not bad.
That's not bad. Well, that's the same odds there are of dying from the vaccination.
Think
about that.
Okay. But you have the same,
like,
I mean...
your chances of winning are the same as your chances of dying.
Sure.
It's just a little warped thing that I've noticed that has gone out into the airwaves recently. It's like, okay, where's the logic behind this,
Yeah.
It's just something to marinate. But I did want to recap one thing that I spoke to last time, and I made a little light of it, but it really wasn't something that was mandatory. There are 2 spaceships leaving this reality at this time, and on one of them, it goes back from 2020, and on one of these ships, it's going to be the world that we left, where when the you-know-what hit the fan, people only thought about hoarding toilet paper and covering their own ass, basically. So there's that ship, and then there is the other ship where things became so distorted, where people really have to now, I feel for myself, and I highly advocate this, have to make a choice of the truth they have in their heart over what they are being programmed and indoctrinated with from the slime, from their video. So, I do have, so that's something that you have to do. So pick somebody who you have, been separated from, estranged from, somebody you love, but there are two spaceships, and you have to be on one of them. The one goes back to the way things were and the ugliness that was beforehand, and the other one is where people actually choose, let's call it their higher nature. And you actually have to, reach out to someone and do something tangible in order to get on this other probability where the people on this other spaceship are all going to be the ones who are choosing the reality of the love in their hearts over what they're being programmed and what they're being told and what they're being fed 24/7 on their social media feeds. So that's not optional. So we make a choice. You have to, if you get there early, it could be somebody you really love and somebody you want to get back in touch with and take that chance. If you wait until the last minute, you could be next to a timeshare salesman or a politician or something like that. And you don't want, it's going to be one of these trips where are we there yet? It's going to be one of those kinds of trips. It's going to be a long one. So,
Well, okay. So let's say you do the right thing. What do you get? Do you get an ID card? Right? Do you get a gold star?
No, it's a split in the probabilities that are happening. I have a theory that perhaps there was an extinction probability that came into reality in 2020, and we dodged it through the COVID crisis. Through everything that was it was either that or COVID or extinction. So they took that. Getting through this now, people are going to choose one way or the other, passively or actively. And what that truth is that you choose to align yourself with at this time is the probability that you're going to move into.
That's very, oh man. Look, everybody. Look who's calling. I'll talk to you, Dave. Hold on for a second. Hold on. Dave, all right. Behave and be well. Hey, Lou.
Yeah, I'm very sorry. I was in the emergency room with
okay, well, hold on. You're live on the radio right now.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, hold on for a second. Stand by. Okay? Lou.
Yep, have you loud and clear.
Okay, I'm going to call you on another line. You want to go live?
Yeah, can you give me 4 minutes?
I'll give you 4 minutes. 10-4. It's 8:07. Okay.
You got it.
Okay, bye. Lue Elizondo. What am I going to do about this? Oh, man. Emergency room. Okay, I can't laugh about that. I have no idea what that is about. That's another surprise call. Wow. Wow, that was pretty interesting. Okay, let's see. Let's go. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, Jimmy. This is Ian.
Hi, Ian. Where are you calling from?
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
All right. What's on your mind tonight from Pittsburgh?
Man, I just wanted to ask you. So, ever since the pandemic and everything going on, I'm a musician just like you, and ever since the pandemic, I've noticed it's been harder to work on music, that sort of thing.
Right.
If anything, I've been paying more attention, like politics and everything going on. But I'm trying to get back into it, gonna invest in some new gear, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I was just wondering, have you been having trouble trying to associate yourself with music or getting in the groove?
Yeah.
And if so, or if not, do you think there's perhaps a renaissance of some sort that's going to come about after all this?
Man, that's a great. Ian, you are the man. Can I just say that? Let me just say that out of the gate. You are the man. This is what I do when I get into that slump. You know what I do? I bust out. This is what I do. I go old school. I don't go modern. I go old school. I bust out ZZ Top de Guayo and start playing those songs. And just from one side, side one to side two. And if that doesn't inspire you, because you can take that right? And you can go death metal, you can go speed metal, you could do rock and roll, you could do pop, you could do that, you can do country, you could do whatever you want. You can do blues, of course.
Yeah.
But it's so well written and so well crafted that it allows you to get your musical sensibilities back. And that's what I do. And you know what I did today for inspiration? I'm not kidding.
What's that?
I watched Yngwie Malmsteen live in Leningrad. I actually watched Yngwie Malmsteen live in Leningrad today with Joe Lynn Turner, who's singing Mark Bowles, songs from Trilogy. And it was just great. And I actually went and did that today. I did Barry Manilow and Yngwie Malmsteen. So there you go. Well, listen, I've got to jump for now, Ian, and go back to the radio because I'm going to bring in a special guest. Okay?
Okay, thanks, Jimmy.
ZZ Top de Guayo. I'm serious. It's time to fade to black. And now this is how we do it. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy, this is Lue Elizondo. How are you, sir?
Lou, I don't mean to giggle. I think I heard you say, it's funny, man. Your phone call's now breaking in while I'm working. But did you?
But Jimmy, are you really working?
Oh man, I got so much crap for that. You knocked it out of the park. That was really funny. Did you say emergency room? Is that something that you can talk about on the air?
I'm really sorry. Unfortunately, I won't go into a lot of detail. My father-in-law is probably at the final stages. And unfortunately, we got a call about an hour and a half ago and said we had to come here very quickly. So, not to make light of the situation, that there's an old saying. I guess I said this before. You know the difference between in-laws and outlaws, right?
You're going to tell me.
Outlaws are wanted.
Yeah, right. That's good. That's good. That's good. Well, Lou.
In this case, I had to unfortunately, I had to come here for the family's sake, and he's not doing well. I don't want to make light of a bad situation.
No, you can't.
It's towards the end, and I had to be here. So I apologize, but.
Well,
I am here.
Yeah, Lou, you and I talked about this over the last couple of weeks, and you know what I just went through with my father, and it's a crazy thing that unfortunately we all have to go through, right? We do.
And you know what? It's a process, and it's something that is as natural as birth. I think for me, the hard part is that. The family. Look, man, I've been through war, and not that diminishes anything, but unfortunately, you see a lot of things that you don't necessarily want to see. But for my family, this is the first time they've ever had to really deal with something like this of this magnitude, where a loved one is going through the final stages. There's all sorts of questions going through their mind at the time, and of course, there's the added complication of dementia, which is absolutely a horrendous thing for any human being to have to go through. And unfortunately, the collateral damage is the immediate families. So that's kind of what I've been engaged in.
Well, our thoughts, this entire community which is a family that you find yourself a part of, our thoughts and prayers are with you and your family at this very difficult time. And that's,
well, I appreciate it. But you went through the same thing, didn't you?
I did. I just did.
Not too long ago. You
2 weeks.
Went through a horrible loss yourself.
My father passed away 2 weeks ago, and I flew back to do the same thing, the final goodbyes. And I just got back, and it was difficult. But the thing, we can move on from this. But the thing is, and I want to say this to everybody. That as crazy as it is to say for me personally about, my father, is that for the family and for him, it's a release, and he needed to, because it's not good. It's not good.
No,
it's
you're
not
right.
good for
There's no
men.
quality of life. There's no dignity.
It's horrible.
My mother went through the same thing 10 years ago, and I lost my mom. And I just found out a couple of days ago I lost my brother. I didn't have a very close relationship, but it is to some degree to the family I hate to say a release. What I've tried to tell my family is, look, death is just as natural as birth. There's absolutely no difference other than that you are transitioning into something else, whatever that something else is. And it's I think hardest on the ones that are left behind. And really that's the unfortunate part. I think for the one that's suffering, their suffering ends and they don't have to go through that anymore.
Yeah, and the family suffer. Yeah, that's right. And the family is suffering right there. It's an emotional thing to go through. It is. I mean, I remember Lou coming back on the plane and just thinking to myself, okay, it's one thing for my dad, but watching my mom and my brothers and the friends and their wives going through that, and they're all looking at me. Now, I gotta say, though, I came clean about crashing the family car, right?
Right, exactly. After 35 years, Dad, remember that? Remember that? That big fender bender that you thought the neighbor did?
Yes, I did, man. And and we told a lot of funny stories and a lot of things, and we were able to sit around and do that for days on end, and we never ran out of stories, right? And that was man, the relief I had. I finally had to come clean. Right. I remember one day, I'm just going to share this for everybody. This is what happened, Lou. You're going to laugh, but every family goes through this. I take my dad's company car. I've got the keys. He lets me, drive it. And it's a brand new 4-door Oldsmobile. It's like months old. And I take it out. And I go and I pick up my friends. And we're in high school. And I'm like 16, 17. Doing those things that you do at that age. And we're driving around. And I remember... I'm driving. This is my dad's company car that he's going to drive to work in the morning, okay? And I'm driving, and I smell bong water. That smell, right? And I go, what happened? And I hear from the back seat, man, I spilled the bong. The back seat of the car. And the panic, right? The panic. I'm just like, my life is over. This is it. It's over. And we take the car to the car wash, and we're vacuuming and shampooing it, and now it smells like shampoo and bong water, right? So I take the car home. Yeah, I take the car home, and I park it in the garage. I don't sleep. I'm awake all night long, man. I got school the next day, too, and I'm awake. I hear him get up, take his shower, go downstairs, and the car is in the garage below my bed, right below my bedroom. I hear him get in the car. Then I hear him get out, right? Slam the door, no. Marches upstairs.
Apocalypse.
Oh, man, it was bad news. So later on that day, I take the keys off my key ring, and I put them on top of his jewelry box. And I go in, and the phone rings in the kitchen. My mom picks it up, and she goes, yeah, he's right here. I was like, oh, no. Right? And it's my dad's secretary, and her name is Nancy. And she goes, hi, Jimmy. I said, hi. She goes, your father wants to talk to you. I was like, okay. And he goes, what was that smell in the car? I said, Dad, I'm so sorry. I took the keys off the key ring, and I put them on your jewelry box. He goes, what was it? I go, bong water. But I didn't spill it. It was Jim McCleister, right? He goes,
I'm sure that made it so much better.
Right. He's like, what's bong water? I said, Dad, don't worry about it. I'm not going to get into that right now.
It's kind of like swamp water, Dad. We were hanging out, and I guess we decided to put some wet bathing suits in the back. My father is still alive, Jimmy, and he's an old revolutionary from Cuba. He was in the Bay of Pigs, and he's kind of an ornery fella. He's probably about 85, and I'm not going to go into much detail about his exploits. But I'm pretty convinced he's still alive for one reason, and that's, first of all, he will never get into heaven. No way, no how. The problem is, I think that the devil's afraid of a takeover. If he goes down there. So he's kind of held in this weird, both God and the devil are like, look, I don't want him. Well, I don't want him. Why don't we just leave him on Earth and we figure out what to do with him?
Oh,
so that's kind of
man.
my dad's situation right now.
Oh, that is funny. That is, yeah. We don't want a coup. We don't want a coup down here.
Well, listen, I just came back from D.C. I just want to let you and your listeners know things are going very well. I think we are at a point where we've reached critical mass. There are conversations happening at very senior levels. They all are taking this topic very seriously. There is new data that is coming in on a regular and routine basis. And when I say regular and routine, I mean literally every week. There's new information.
Now, how much? There's some stuff. I don't know how far you can go with this right now, but let me ask you, and I'm going to. I'm going to ask you a few direct questions, and let me see what I can get out of you tonight, Lou. You did make some comments with the Washington Examiner, which definitely blew up around the media, and the comments about that. I want to address that in a second. But there's the other part. I know that it was mentioned over the weekend, and I spoke to you about this, and Danny, that you were going straight to Washington. I talked to you before you left, and then I talked to you after you got there, and that you were going to sit down with the IG. Was that did that sit down happen, and was it an interrogation, or was it a meeting of the minds?
And it was well. It's the first of many conversations. It was very lengthy. They were extremely interested to know the facts and the details of what I'm aware of, and also they want to talk to additional people. I'll tell you, Jimmy, I'm cautiously optimistic with the effort of the IG. Harvey Stone is an individual. He's the one who actually initiated the initial evaluation. And he seems to me very genuine. Maybe I'm wrong, but my initial assessment of him, he really does want to help the department, and he wants to help the department find a solution. And that solution is in line with, I think, the solution that everybody wants: transparency, openness, truth, disclosure. So I was surprised, and I think Danny was too. I mean, you'd have to talk to Danny. I certainly don't want to speak for him,
right?
But they were very open, and they had indicated that they are. Let me see if I can put this right. They are interested in finding the solution that will help the department, help the intelligence community, help the government move forward on the topic. I don't feel that they're being shy about it. I don't think that they are. When I say they, I mean the IG. I don't think they're trying to whitewash this. I think they seem genuinely concerned the fact that there are elements within the U.S. government that have deleted my emails and all my files. Look, here's the bottom line, Jimmy.
Wait, that was my next question, Lou. Let me cut you off, if I may. Did you ask the IG what the F about Susan? These statements that are coming out about my background and my involvement in this are contradictory to the facts that I have presented. Somebody here is not telling the truth.
Absolutely aware of it. Look, they wouldn't be talking to me and my attorney if I wasn't part of ATIP. That's I mean, obviously that's the bottom line. They're not going to waste their time with it. But I think more importantly, from my perspective, here's what I told them. I said, look, I had two portfolios when I was in the Pentagon the last 10 years. The two primary portfolios were Guantanamo Bay, which I've now been open about, and UFOs. And so in one hand, you have a topic that is regarding literally the trial of the century. The people that have been accused of being responsible for the September 11th attacks in New York and on the Pentagon in Pennsylvania. Those are the individuals that I was involved with to a degree, and I won't go into detail on that. And then the other issue is perhaps the greatest question that has faced mankind since our existence, and that is, are we alone? And more importantly, what has the Pentagon's role been in this for the last umpteen years?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you mean to tell me that neither one of those topics are historically relevant, and you deleted not only my emails but my files because someone in the Pentagon deemed that 9/11 and UFOs were not historically relevant, then we've got a much more significant issue on our hands. And I'm certainly not going to speak for the IG, but I I think they get it. I think they understand the significance of that.
Now,
so
with this conversation with the IG, I don't know if this is like a civil or criminal case in court, but you are being represented. Because of what is going on, have you had access to the UAP task force report?
Ooh, Jimmy, I'm going to take a pass on that.
Okay, fair enough.
I know the report is, the classified version is, when I say fairly extensive, 70 some pages. There's an unclassified portion that's supposed to come out. I don't want to lead the cart before the horse. I want to give the members of Congress time and the latitude that they need to figure this out. As we know this week, members of Congress have been given a sneak peek. For the most part, all have come out fairly convinced this is an important topic.
Mm-hmm.
I want to let them have the time and the latitude to do what they deem is necessary. But I will highlight the fact that an individual had indicated that an elected official that at some point congressional hearings will probably be forthcoming. And that's huge.
I saw that, and that was from Andre Carlson from, I think he's a representative from Illinois or Indiana. And, okay, so back to that point. Today, as you know, is the 17th of June. So in a logistical, technical side, we're supposed to be about a week away from this report. You just got back from Washington. What's the chatter on the street? Are we going to see it on the 24th? Is it going to be the 25th, 26th? Is it going to be in July? Or maybe before then?
Well, the report will be delivered on time. How it winds up trickling down to the American people is going to be up to Congress. I'm certainly not going to tell them how to do their business. But, when you have not only the DOD, but you have members of the FBI, Federal Bureau of Investigation, briefing members of Congress, I mean, that's pretty significant. I mean, and I think Congress at this point is fully well aware of the magnitude of this topic. And you know what? They're not shying away from it. They're all embracing this and saying, yeah, you know what? This is an issue that we all need to take up. And I'll tell you something else, Jimmy. I think a lot of that, the credit goes to people like you and your audience who've been pushing this for quite some time, long before I ever came out public. You have the mainstream media, you have our elected officials, you have senior members and former senior members of our government, to include 2 now former presidents of the United States, coming out and saying, yeah, this is real, this is important. You have a former director of national intelligence, 2 former directors of CIA. That's a big deal. I mean, I know a lot of people come out and say, yeah, Lou, what does Lou produce? But, I don't necessarily wear my mind on my sleeve. I don't tell everybody what the hell I'm doing every single moment of every day. But this has been a work in process for the last 3.5 years. On my part, I know on your part, it's been probably decades, and same with some of your listeners. So I just want to take an opportunity and say, look, we are here today, not because of anything specifically that I did or Chris Mellon or anybody else. It's been a collective effort, all of us. We have pushed this ball forward. The team only wins the Super Bowl because it plays as a team. There's no one quarterback or wide receiver or blocker or anybody else who can say, yeah, I won the Super Bowl. That's not the way it works.
No, it doesn't work that way.
We all won.
It doesn't work that way.
No, we won it together.
Now, okay, so not to say that you have or have not seen the report, but let's say that if you did have an opportunity to take a gander at the report, would you expect, in your opinion, to have confirmation of anything. And I'm talking about confirmation of China or Russia or not, confirmation of us or not.
Confirmation that it's not us. This is not U.S. technology.
It's not U.S. tech.
Signed, sealed, and delivered. It's not U.S. tech. Signed, sealed, and delivered by the Director of National Intelligence, by the Secretary of Defense to Congress. Representative, by the way, of the entire intelligence community and the entire defense community. So all the assets and resources and special programs that we have going on, this is not part of that. And I think it's important that people recognize this is yet another paradigm moment, because there were three options on the table. It's either our tech, it's foreign tech, or it's something completely different. Well, we now know for sure, which is something we probably, many of us already knew for a long time, it's not our tech. So all the stuff about TR-3Bs and stuff like that for the last 30 years, that's now off the table. Now it's either Russia, China, or it's something else. And obviously it's looking increasingly like more and more Russia and China are probably going to be off the table too. But we have to let the facts speak for themselves. And I don't want to prejudice the jury here. We need everybody to come to their own conclusion based upon the facts. And that's why I'm always kind of cagey about offering my opinion, because at the end of the day, the facts are going to tell the narrative. It doesn't have to be Lue Elizondo or Jimmy Church or anybody else.
The other part of this, as you know, it came out yesterday that there was this secret briefing, right, with a House committee on counterterrorism and a few other categories with that. It wasn't the Senate, and it wasn't the Senate Intelligence Committee, but they did go into a secured facility for this debriefing. And the members, as they came out, there was a variety of comments, and I thought that some of them were pretty open, Lou, and I know that you read them too as well. I was pretty surprised about that. There was another, I don't have his name right here, but another one that said the exact opposite of the other 5 or 6 comments, which was something to the effect, I'm paraphrasing, it was nothing. I wasn't sitting on the edge of my seat. And I thought,
actually, yeah, what he said is that he didn't learn, it was, I think it's that some people are going to be let down. And I think that's true when you look at what their narrative is.
Sure.
They're expecting, Elvis on the mothership or something like that, then yeah. Or, that there's going to be some sort of confirmation that we're being visited by, things from the Pleiades or Alpha Centauri. Well, that's not what that report's going to say. And if you are expecting that, then I think you have unrealistic expectations. This is really the first time the government has. Now people are going to go back to, well, what about Blue Book and all this other stuff and Grudge and Sign, but that's not to the same level that we have now. I mean, this is. If people can't see that we are having a completely different conversation at this point, then I don't know what to tell you. But we're in a different spot than we were 30, 40 years ago, and it's going to take time. It's going to take time for us to really wrap our hands and our heads around this topic and figure out really what's going on.
Now,
like I said before, like I said 3 years ago,
right?
This is a process. This is not an event. And if you're looking for instant gratification, then go play PlayStation, go play Xbox, or go to Burger King, because you're not going to get that with this topic. This is a process that's going to take a long time. And when I told people, and I know some people got mad at me, they said, no, BS. Well, fine, whatever. But when they said, where are we in the process? I said, look, we're not even at the beginning of the end. And we're not at the end of the beginning. We're probably at the beginning of the beginning. And, that's my position.
And there's, I want to get your comments on this and I know what you're going through right now and where you're calling from, and so thank you for hanging out with us.
I'm outside of an emergency room. I am not kidding you.
Yeah,
I'm just standing outside because they were yelling at me for being a little bit too loud in the waiting room. But,
I'm so thankful. This is just a strange moment for both of us, but I can't let you get away without asking you a couple of questions about the articles that came out from CNN and a couple of other media organizations last week that stated a couple of things, and I thought that they were pretty strong to state as fact. And one of them was that there was 120 cases and events that they looked at for evidence in this report. I don't know the dating of those cases. I don't know if they went back to the 60s or the 50s, or if these are all modern cases.
It was only back to the USS Nimitz.
So only to 2004.
They only looked at 2004 and forward for the most part. But
if you saw, well, let's be clear here. If you saw the report, right, then that's probably what is in there. Okay, so do you have any idea if you were going to take a pretty educated guess here, Lou, how many cases did they investigate?
Jimmy, I'm going to let the task force answer that question. But what I will say is that these cases haven't stopped. People look back and say, "Well, oh my gosh, you mean after the Roosevelt there was the Omaha and the USS Kidd?"
Right.
No, what I'm saying is these things haven't stopped since last week. And at some point when that comes to light, people are going to go, holy crap, wait a minute. We know about Nimitz, we know about Roosevelt, now we know about Omaha and Kidd because of Jeremy Corbell and a few others and George Knapp. But you mean to tell me these things are occurring constantly? Yes. Ryan Graves already said it. To some point, it was occurring on a daily basis for 2 years straight.
Yeah, that's 700 cases right there. Right. Well, and so that would indicate to me, and this is my point, Lou, that 120 events and cases to some sounds like a lot. To others, to myself, it sounds like not enough. But I'm wondering what officially is in that.
So if I say, for example, allow me to talk all over you real quick, but I apologize. But let me just say this.
Take your time.
If we can say the Nimitz incident. The Nimitz incident occurred over several days, and we call it one event. But the Nimitz wasn't one event. So it could be that the government is classifying, the USS Nimitz, the USS Roosevelt, the USS Kidd, or the Omaha
as one case.
As a one case, when in reality,
right,
it occurred over multiple days with multiple sensor units, multiple eyewitnesses, right? So we need to be careful when we say that. And I don't want to expound anymore because I don't want to get into detail of the report before Congress has a chance to provide it to the American people to whatever degree they're comfortable with.
I appreciate that. And okay, so one last question, then I'll let you go and get back to your family. If we are looking at three different scenarios and we take our tech off of the table, right? That is going to be something that is verified in this report that it is not U.S. tech. That leaves two choices. Not of this earth, right? Little green men arriving here, interstellar craft, right? So there's that, or it's adversarial and it's foreign tech. But it could also be a mix of those two, right? Right.
It could be actually, and I'm glad you said that, Jimmy, because you're right. It could be both, and frankly, it could be neither. I know that's uncomfortable for people to figure out, but. And to try to contemplate, but it could be that we're dealing with something that is so revolutionary that it's not little green men from Mars, and in fact it's something that's totally natural to this planet. We're just not at the point where we can begin to collect information on it. It's something that could be, like I said, from outer space, inner space, or the space in between. There's a lot of different options in that third option, and that's what we need to make sure that all options remain on the table until they're no longer on the table. We have to really, really, really try to avoid any type of cognitive dissonance or if you will, analytic overlay, where we automatically presume a narrative without having all the facts and details. And I know it's tempting to do, and I know a lot of people out there say, well, we know the answer and blah, 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 blah. Well, you know what? Fine. Maybe you do have the answer, but the rest of us chickens don't. So give us time to catch up. And that's I think that's where we are right now in the movie.
Well, thank you, Lou, for taking the time to check in with us. And it's been an insane, intense week, not only for the community, but for the world. This is very fluid, and we're getting stuff daily coming at us that is getting bigger and more sensational than 20 minutes ago, right? It's like that. But I want to thank you for all of your efforts. I want you to get back to your family. And I'm going to talk to you tomorrow, and I am going to let you know the flood of text and who they are coming in from right now.
Oh, God.
And I'll let you
I can only imagine.
I'll let you know.
I got a lot of haters, man.
You have no idea. Well, some of it's, well, you know what? We'll talk about all of this tomorrow, but it's pretty interesting. Luke, get back to your family, get back to your father-in-law, and we'll circle back sometime tomorrow. Thank you so much.
You got it. Take care, Jimmy, and thank you for your patience and that of your audience.
You're the best, Lou. Thank you so much, man.
10-4. Bye.
Lue Elizondo. And thank you, Lou, calling while I'm working once again. But he's calling from the hospital. He's there with his family and his father-in-law. And again, our thoughts and prayers from the entire UFO community over to you, Lou, and your family. And I just went through this. I know what's going on, and thank you for taking the time tonight to call into the show. Lots to extrapolate from what Lou just went through with this. I am going to continue taking calls for the rest of the night with all of you, and we will start to digest what we just heard from Lue Elizondo. And I can only imagine with the amount of press and media that listen to this show every day and what Lou just said there on the air. Yeah, that's going to be out. It's going to be making the headlines tomorrow. That was pretty incredible. That was a lot of information that came out rapid fire right there from Lou. So again, I'm going to take phone calls from for the rest of the night with all of you, and let's try to pick this apart and see what everybody is thinking. This is Fade to Black. Let's see who's up next. Hi, you're live. Who's calling? Oh, you got to turn me down. Okay, you got to turn me down. Okay, that's it. You go back on hold. You got to turn me down. Somebody just missed the opportunity and are now at the back of the line. You got to be ready when you hear my voice. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? You're live. 3, 2, 1. Man, you guys. On a night like tonight, and somebody is asleep at the wheel. Okay, I'm just going down the line. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy, it's Bulett in Vancouver.
Hey, Bulett, how are you, man?
Jimmy. How are you, buddy? How's things?
Well, what did you think of that phone call?
Okay, I completely missed it. I was on hold. I'm so sorry, but I've also been running around filling tires for my family's strollers and bikes and everything, but I've been on hold waiting, hearing your voice the whole time.
Well, I had Lue Elizondo on for about 45 minutes.
Oh, so that was his voice when I started.
Yeah,
cool.
Okay, that was Lou. Okay, so you missed that. You can listen to the replay. But Bulett, I saw your video. I made a couple of comments on that. So briefly, and I'm sure that's why you're calling in. It's an incredible video. Now, where was it?
Something.
Where was it shot?
It was filmed in Timbuktu in Africa.
Right.
And the reason why we were able to get this is my brother does a lot of business out in Africa, and he has a lot of contacts there, and these contacts are high up government people. And to help you educate everyone of who these people are, they could be professors or like CEOs of Silicon Valley companies here. Like, they're brilliant, smart people, and they live in Timbuktu in Mali. And in Mali right now, there's a situation where there's been a lot of militant fighting with the Tuareg tribes in Mali, which became like a little mini ISIS there. So this guy that videotaped this was the guy that negotiated the peace treaty. His name is Sal. He negotiated the peace treaty between Mali government and the Tuareg tribe. They're under military curfew, and at sunset at 7 p.m. their time, and the sun sets every day at the same time there, which is why there's still that sunset glow happening. These two huge orbs appeared above them. One appeared, and then another one appeared as the other one, the first one had just disappeared on its own. They were hovering there. They never made a sound. They just appeared out of nowhere, and it made everyone come outside to go, what is going on here? And I know a lot of people were having questions, why is it still sunny? If it's at nighttime, it's because it was at sunset. And what are they saying? Can you get the video translated? I got it translated. So I'm telling everyone here, before I make a video and post it, that basically the person recording this was his cousin was speaking for him and saying it was at 7 p.m. These lights appeared above our neighborhood. This is a very well-to-do, rich neighborhood in Timbuktu. And we don't know what this is. We're hoping the harmful effects of the lights do not do anything to us. Can please someone tell us what's going on here? These people were genuinely afraid. And I'm like, I saw this video and I said to my brother, who is this? What is this guy doing? How is it you got this video? So I asked him a million questions before I decided to go ahead and look into this further.
Mm-hmm.
He is as interested as I am into finding out what is this, because these are his friends. And to educate others on what my brother does, he has oil and gas concessions in Kenya and in Ghana and in Mali. And when the fighting erupted in Mali in 2012, he had pulled his guys that worked for him out of there and their families to keep them safe into Nairobi, because it was just that dangerous. They had to get people out of there. There's a mass exodus there. Things happen around the world that we don't see here in our media, right? And we had a lot of people asking us all these things. And I had a lot of people saying, what if it's just a military flare? I bet you it's a military flare. It's going to be a military flare. So I started calling companies that make military flares. All of the military illumination flares have a little trail, a smoke trail from when they get popped up in the air and they exit. Well, it's a parachute one. Well, the parachute flare still descends. These did not descend at all.
No, they didn't.
And not from what I see.
Yeah, and the best way, I'm going to describe the videos to the audience. It looks to me, somebody is standing in the middle of a lane or a street, and you can see the street going straight to like the end, right, the horizon. And then there's a little groove at the end of this. It could be like, it looked like a couple of like the road went through a hill, and they cut a groove out for the road to go through. And down at that end, you see what looks like the sun. That's what it kind of looks like. It looks like the sun, but it moves. And so you see this, and you see this movement, and then it goes away. Then a second one appears in a different spot, and it's lighting up everything. You can see that, and it looks like, if you didn't know, if you were just looking, if it was a screenshot of this video, Bielan, it would look like the sun setting in the west, right? That's what it looks like. It looks, it's big, it's bright like the sun, but then there's a little more movement, but then it dims, and when it dims, because then the flare from the around it, the brightness, chills out for a second, and you see that it is a perfectly crisp, round object in the sky, and then it just fades out, fades to black.
Exactly.
And it's what? It's probably 30 seconds, 45, maybe a minute long. Not very long.
It's the video. The video is only a minute long.
Okay,
and
it's about It's on
and it's about all we really need to kind of just start asking some questions here as to what's making these people very afraid, and they're in a very volatile area of the world where fighting erupts all the time. peace treaties are happening all the time. I think if they have seen so much fighting in the day and at night, they would know what a military flare looks like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, look, I can understand.
And it's like when I see, like, I just saw that first time in the morning, and I was like, all right, it's the sunset in Africa. I've been to Africa. I've been in Kenya. I was in Nairobi. I went to the coast to a resort there. I know what it looks like. It's beautiful. I'd love to go back. I'm like, oh, it's a thing in Africa. Okay. And then it's like, why is there a second sun?
Yeah, I know. I did that.
It was the first thing I saw in the morning. I did
the exact same thing. It was like, there's two? Now, listen, Bulin, I know that you're going to stay on top of this. Once you get something edited and put together, it's what you do. Send it to me. I would love to get it out for everybody to see. It is a pretty incredible video, and I think everybody can tell by looking at it that it's not CG. It's not anything that's generated. The video itself is genuine. Could it be a military flare?
It is absolutely.
Yeah. But the video itself is authentic. But get back to me as soon as you get some more information and get that video up so I can get it out for everybody to see. It's pretty incredible. Everybody's wondering now what the heck we're talking about. So get it done so we can get it posted.
We're getting it done. We're going to get an update with a translation happening beside the video next, and then we're going to hopefully get a video interview recorded with Sal and his cousin with my brother over Zoom, and we're going to have that going up next as well. So we're working on compiling this. This is like a Scooby-Doo mystery we're trying to solve, and maybe it's Old Man McCready trying to get the land back from everybody, right? So
maybe,
but
maybe
it could be. You know, here's the thing, Jimmy. The last thing I want to say is, it's not I'm going to be the person that's going to go, it's like a David Childress on Ancient Aliens that's go, maybe it's a transdimensional being coming. Like, I'm not going to give an answer to something when I don't even have data to support it. All I want to know is, what is that, what it could be, and then rule it out if it isn't. You know, if there is a military flare that could stay hovering and die out on its own in the same spot from a distance, then that's what it will be. Because if I can simulate the same thing, then that's what it has to be. But if it's not, then what can it be? And with the way things are going these days, I really do feel like with the Pentagon and everything, and all these videos are coming out, I'm like, look, all I can do is ask a question and try and answer it. And if I can't get an answer, then we'll all keep asking questions.
That's it. That's all we can do. And if you Fadernauts want to go over to the Fadernight Fade to Black fan page, there's a video there of Bulin speaking about all of this and posting the quick video is up there for all of you to see. So you can see that over there. And Bulin, keep us posted. It's all I could say, I was like, dude, this is interesting. Right? That's really good stuff. Bulin, thank you so much, man. You're the best.
Thank you, Jimmy. You are too. Love you, man.
Love you back. Thank you so much. Yeah, go back, Lee Tappy. Thank you, man. Oh, Bulin Hansen, and great artist, great storyteller, great author. His graphic novels are top shelf, but this video is pretty nuts. And with that, I'm going to go straight back to the phones and see who I'm going to pull in next. Let's try this right here. Oh, you got to turn me down. You got to turn me down. I'm saying this right now. Turn me down. I'm going to give you one more shot. No, that's it. That's it. You're getting hung up on. You just got hung up on. And I'm out of time. I got to get to a commercial break. Okay, let me just say this as I'm lining up more phone calls. Lue Elizondo, for those that weren't here earlier in the show, called in. He's with his family, and he called from the emergency room. He's there with his family, but he did call in from the hospital to give us a report of what he thinks is going on, specifically about the UAPTF. Okay. The things I can deduce from Lue's statements. that the report is going to be out on the 24th and will be presented on time. That will be in 7 days, number one. Number two, that the report will not have, states clearly that this is not United States tech that is involved. So we've got that. The next part that he said, all of the investigations were from the Nimitz forward, right? So we didn't go back. There's no Roswell. There's no Rendlesham. There's no Malmstrom. There isn't anything that predates 2004 in the report. He could confirm nor deny that he had seen the report. He has been sitting down with the IG since Monday. And one of the things that he spoke to the IG about is the misrepresentation from Susan Gough, out of the Pentagon as a spokesperson about Lue's background and his involvement in all of this, how it has been contradictory in nature versus his statements and theirs, that somebody's not telling the truth. And now he did not say what the IG said in response to that, but the IG is aware of it, certainly. And this is an ongoing investigation, and whatever is going on isn't going to be discussed in the show, not yet. So I appreciate that too. There were many other statements from Lue about the UAPTF, and one of them is this. If it is not U.S. tech, Lue says, well, then that leaves two other choices. That's extraterrestrial, not of this earth, or it's a foreign technology, another state actor. And it could be a mix of both. Now, will there be something definitive in the report about this? And I appreciate Lue's position, which is he will wait for the UAP task force to present this to the Senate, and he's not going to jump ahead and reveal the contents of that report. He did indicate that the 120 cases that I asked him about, that CNN reported on, the New York Times reported on, that they looked at 120 cases. Lue says the number is not 120, but I don't know what that number is, but it's not 120. But if you look at the Nimitz, there's probably a bunch of incidents reports inside of the Nimitz case, but that would be looked at as case number one, or just one case. And so in totality, that number does not add up to 120. So we will see. Oh, I didn't ask him. How many pages are in the report? What's the over-under, Lue? What's the over-under? All right, I got to take a break. We're going to do that right here. This is Fade to Black. It's Thursday night. It is Fadernight. Open lines all night long. 747-228-2051. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. More of your phone calls are next. Stay with me.
Way out here, we listen to Jimmy Church.
You're listening to Fade to Black.
Always on the edge of the hottest alternative talk. Jimmy Church with Fade to Black. KGRARadio.com.
¿Qué tal, mis amigos? Yo soy Mario Carson, el tiburón, y los invito para que escuchen a mi buen amigo Jimmy Church Radio. ¡Claro que sí!
Do you want to be an official Fadernaut? Of course you do. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black. Just go to our membership section at jimmychurchradio.com. Fadernauts. When you think about the future of our country and where we're headed, do you wonder about the food supply? I do. Disruptions in the food supply chain could be disastrous, and they usually occur with little warning. That's why the smartest thing you can do today is to stockpile emergency food, water, and other essentials. I personally recommend My Patriot Supply. They're the nation's largest emergency preparedness company, serving millions of customers for more than a decade. In fact, they're the only source my family trusts for our preparedness plan. You should too. Right now, save 20% off a full 4-week supply of delicious meals that provide 2,000 calories a day. Saving 20% helps too, doesn't it? Especially now. So go to preparewithjimmy.com and get ready. That's preparewithjimmy.com. There's no time to lose. Do it now.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7, with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
You listen to us, and we listen to you. And so does the CIA. KGRAradio.com.
You are listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Oi, oi, I'm Reese Evans. You're listening to Jimmy Church. This is Revolution. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution is on radio. Ciao.
Welcome back. Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Thursday night, Fader night. Wow, what? Man, we've had great nights on Fader night. Some of the greatest nights in all of radio. Tonight's going to rate right up there with all of that. So much to unpack out of everything that Lou just said. And you guys probably remember more of it than I do. And yeah, wow, incredible. And then Bulent and his video that he posted over in the Fade to Black fan page. That's an amazing video. If it is what it is, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
My name is Seth.
Hey, Seth. How are you, man? Where are you calling from?
Wyoming, actually.
All right. Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Are you Lue Elizondo's neighbor?
I wish, sir. I wish. I take a bullet for that guy, and I carry the torch for him any day, but I haven't had the pleasure to meet him.
Yeah, there you go. Wyoming is the place to be. What's on your mind tonight, Seth?
Oh, well, before Lou called, I had all kinds of things, but first off, I just wanted to thank you for bringing Lou on the show and giving him that kind of exposure and having the best interview.
Yeah, well, he has my number. I have his. We do a lot of talking. The one thing I can say about Lou is he loves the Fadernauts. He loves the show, and probably above and beyond the other media that he does, and he does a lot, that he knows that him and I can talk. Right? That's it. That's right. It. And he knows I know the subject, and he knows that we can just talk freely, and it's totally different than going on another media outlet. And that's why he's comfortable. And he loves the Fadernauts, and that's a great opportunity for them because, excuse me, they see him on Tucker, I see him on Fox, see him on CNN, and all of the other outlets, and the quotes and the interviews that he does in the media. So they get that side of it, but that's the way that those news organizations want to present the story. It's their version of it. Here on Fade to Black, the Fadernauts can now, or this audience can now weigh, the way other media organizations treat this and handle it, and the way that we treat it here. And I think that Lue is much more comfortable coming on here and having a conversation than other outlets. And I'm not in any way talking down about other outlets, but let's face it, this is something that we deal with here, and we are very, very smart. So, but it is cool. Look, it's cool that Lue's got me on speed dial, right? And he feels comfortable just calling in, and he's in the emergency room with his family, and he calls in to Fade to Black. That's pretty cool. Right. It happened on my cell phone first, and I was like, when he said emergency room, that's when I kind of chased him off of the air. And then I thought, well, I'm not going to put him on speakerphone. Let's just call him back from one of the studio lines here, and that's what we ended up doing. So yeah. Okay, so Seth, you called me. What's on your mind?
Yes. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for giving me a moment. Besides thanking you and thanking him for everything he's done and all the shots he's taking that, like I said, I would take for him if I could. I just wish I knew what he knew and had his expertise. But I suppose I just wanted to say I'm really glad you had a personal kind of conversation with him to see his personal qualities, the human behind the mask, not the mask, but what he has to present to the media and to the world, unfortunately, when I wish they could see this first, because we're people and he's a person, and this is a human problem, and a human solution is necessary. So I think that God bless Lue, God bless you, and hopefully the defense contractors give their data eventually. Hopefully the Air Force jumps in eventually, but if not, I think it's up to the private sector, maybe private funding, Skylab, whatever we got to do to get it out there. You never want to completely depend on the government, but I'm so proud of Lue as a Wyoming citizen and as a human being and as a citizen USA for being brave enough to do all of this. He's humble, but I'd like to say that he, if he's listening, well, I guess you could tell him later, Jimmy, if not, but that we see what he's doing and we care, and we'll help in any way we can. Any assistance he needs, I'd be the first one in line. For either one of you, really. Jimmy, I don't want to lower you in front. You're both so important. I just want to let you know that.
Yeah, thank you so much, Seth, and it means the world to Lue too as well to get that kind of support. So enjoy the rest of your night, my friend, and thank you for taking the time to call in. I really appreciate that phone call. Thank you so much.
Hey, thank you. You have a great night as well. Thanks for everything.
You too. Thank you so much, Seth. And the way that Seth is speaking about this, there is an element that, and well, we talked about this a little bit tonight with Lue for sure. But and I remember going over this the last time that he was on with us. It was last month, a few short weeks ago. In that he's got a family, he's got a wife, he's got kids, and he is in the middle of a bunch of muck, up to his knees. And it is the personal attacks, from the Pentagon, which you would never expect that from your former employer. He has certainly dealt with criticism in the media, and I'm right there. I was part of it. I look back, and everything that I spoke about in the past about Lue and questioning things, because that's what we do in the UFO community. He heard all of that, and him and I ended up talking about this, through it privately and publicly, knowing that, look, we don't have to agree. we don't have to do any. We don't, but collectively as a team, and that's what he said again tonight. That's what we do here, you know. And if you go back and you think about the valiant efforts of John Greenwald and what he did with the Freedom of Information Act, looking into Lue's background and ATIP and trying to figure out what was real with TTSA, and certainly all of that work and all of the shows that John and I have done over the last 3 or 4 years, focusing on all of this and what does it really mean, and all of that ultimately brings out the fact that Lue's emails were allegedly erased, which we know that they weren't, and that there were no backups, and we know that there are. But that all came from everything where we go and question everything, and you keep the pressure on. You keep the pressure on the Pentagon. You keep the pressure on everybody. And in the end, we're going to find out where everybody is at, right? And in the end, we are united as a community, and we are going to get to the bottom of this. And where we are today versus where we were 4 years ago, with all of these efforts with the Senate, with the IG, and the UAP task force report, and what it may mean to all. This is amazing. It's absolutely amazing. That's the only way I can put it. So thank you for that, Seth. Let's see who's up next. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? You're live.
Yeah, Tom from Beaver County.
Tom from where?
From Beaver County, PA.
Okay, how you doing, Tom?
Okay. On these things with Lue Elizondo and stuff, now, my wife had called you a while back about a sighting we had, okay? And I was watching TV about 6 months ago or so, and there was a aircraft carrier, and they were launching a drone, and right away, bam, it hit me. That's it. That's what we seen, okay? And they were launching this drone. It looked exactly like what we had seen. Now, the kicker is, when we seen this was 40 years ago.
Interesting.
So,
interesting.
Exactly. So, that's 40 years that they had to work on stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And things move fast in 40 years.
Well, okay, Tom, stay right there. What about, Lue made a comment tonight that the task force report, again, if he has read it or not, right? We can't confirm nor deny, but that the report is going to say that these craft, whatever they are not U.S. tech, and that is definitive and spelled out in this report. That's a pretty holy crap moment, which kind of goes against what you're saying here about these drones taking off from the aircraft carriers, which you guys saw, you and your wife 40 years ago, and that tech has to have advanced in 40 years, and certainly it has. No question about it.
Well, yeah, of course, yeah. But in government speak, them saying, well, this is not USA connected, well, in government speak, that could mean contractors, that could mean anything. I mean, look with the stuff that the contractors are doing now and stuff. In government speak, you just never know. I personally don't, they say we're ready to know and stuff. I personally don't think we're ready.
Why not?
But that's another.
Well, why not?
Well, like I said, I'm from Beaver County, Pennsylvania. Even Obama said, well, the people out there in them rolling hills, they're either Bibles or guns,
Mm-hmm,
So I don't know if we're, what I'm saying, I don't know if we're ready, who knows what, and we are a well-armed country, a well-armed world, actually. Who knows what could happen? I don't think we're ready. I think that, if it does happen out like that there, and I don't know, there's going to be a lot of people going to be quick on the trigger.
Well, that's the human race, right?
Exactly.
That's the human race. That's the human race. Tom, thank you for the phone call. And very, very compelling. Thank you so much, my friend. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Okay, you too. Bye.
We are very quick on the trigger. Always have been. Always have been. There's just... we make jokes all the time, right? Shoot first, ask questions later, right? That's always been the way of the human race. I don't know if you want to be shooting at E.T. I don't think that's a good idea. I don't even know if it would work. I don't know. But yeah, he's right. The other part is saying that we are not ready. I'm not so sure how much of this planet actually cares. Right now, we need to get back to work. We need to rebuild. We need to focus on our kids and the schools and the economy and getting everything back on track. We're out of food. We've got to get the logistics back, and we've got to figure out a path forward for the entire world that got put on pause for 16 months. And I think everybody's worrying about that, right? And looking at these posts from different companies putting their workers on notice, you've got to come back to work. And here's the deadline. Enough working at home. You've got to come back into the office or else. And that's really where we're at. That's it. We've got to... if you remember what I said about the pandemic at the start of this 16 months ago, I said, look, this isn't a world war. We haven't bombed cities into the ground. We don't have to rebuild. We don't have to rebuild streets and highways and buildings and homes because everything was bombed, into the Stone Age. That's not what we're dealing with here, right? No, we just got to get back to work. Got to roll up the sleeves and get back to work. That's what we got to do. And all of these subsidies and things, and I get a lot of that was needed, but how quickly so many people adjusted to living off that government money, and now there's not enough workers to go around in the restaurants and stores and gas stations. Everybody's hiring. Everybody. There isn't a business in this country that doesn't need employees. Any business. Nobody wants to come back to work. And it's going to be a point where the governors and the Fed is just going to cut those payments off. You got to go back to work. That's it. The free money's over. The pandemic's over. And it is, right? So that's what people are worried about. They're not thinking about E.T. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? You're live.
Greg.
Hi, Greg. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Ohio.
All right, Greg.
I was just curious. Came in here and I typed in church live stream. I guess it went to your name because your last name is Church, I see.
Okay. Well, what were you trying to find?
I tell you what. I don't know what people have their minds on nowadays. It seems like kind of, I look at life like this. Our minds are like a grain of salt. And when you add something too much in, that doesn't fit, what happens? Creates an overflow. Oh, by the way, I love your guitars in the background. Maybe, one day when I get better at the guitar, me and you can meet up and we can jam out one day.
You never know. You can teach me a couple of songs. Well, yeah.
Anyways, but, my name is Love All, not just some, and I know that, a lot of people in here, may live in fear, and, I've been through a lot in life. I've been called a lot of names, and I've been called the Antichrist. I've been called a bunch, and, I'm no Antichrist. I just have a love for people. And sorry that, if that offends anybody, I'm not here to, bash on anybody, and I don't think we need to bash on each other's, everybody has their own set of beliefs, but I don't know what this show is about, and I'm glad that you have me on air and haven't booted me off yet because I noticed a lot of people, they don't like truth, you know, and a lot of people, you know, don't know, like me. I've been given some very good information, you know, from a man unknown to some, you know, and, you know, let me say that, you know, I was, you know, about an 18-year-old one time, and I seen something that changed my life, you know, for the better or the good, you know, and it made me curious. Yet I had many trials and tribulations after that, you know, that, and I did fall. You know, let me ask you something, Jimmy. Is man accountable for man on the sins that they do?
That would be a religious topic. And I don't, on this show, I don't do religion and I don't do politics.
Okay, well, we're not going to talk about that.
But what I'm saying, Greg, let me jump in, is that one thing that I do believe, and I mean this, that with this pandemic, it gave us an opportunity to look beyond borders and to look beyond people and to understand that all of us are in this together. It doesn't matter about our backgrounds, about the countries, what language we speak, the color of our skin, that we are in this together. It doesn't matter if the pandemic is real, if it's fake, if it's manufactured, if it's natural, if it's some conspiracy brought in to control world population and the vaccines. None of that matters. None of it matters. Listen to me, everybody. None of it matters. You know what matters? Is that we were forced to go through it. That's what matters. That's our reality. We're not going to change the world. We're not going to go out and bring down the man. We're not going to bring down world governments over that. No, that's not going to happen. It's simply not. What we do know is that we all went through lockdown together. We all went through jobs, lack of money, going to grocery stores when there was no food, forced into wearing face masks, all of that. That's what we went through, all of that together. And you have to have a certain amount of not only compassion and empathy, but love for everybody, because you need that love back. You need people to pay attention to you too, and to recognize that you are going through this just like they are. That's what matters. It doesn't matter. And the rest of it, none of that drama matters. None of it. None of it. The other part, and I want to thank you for the phone call, Greg. That's a really great phone call. There's another part of this that I look at these numbers, and I look at Pakistan, or I look at Iran, or I look at Russia or China and North Korea, you know, these adversaries of they went through it all too. Drastic things. So I don't believe, I really don't, unless I'm way off, that there was some big collusion with all of these countries that quite frankly can't stand each other, you know, at a geopolitical level. So I just don't think that is part of the case. I just don't feel that. I don't see it. So the only part that's left for me is us. We got to figure out how to get back, you know, and in the end, I think that we are going to respect each other more than we did before. And that's my take, and I'm going to stick to it. I am firmly going to stick to it. I'm looking at the clock. Okay, I got time for one more quick phone call, and let's go here. And let's let this come on live. There we go. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, this is Jay from the Bronx.
Hey, Jay from the Bronx. How are you? What's on your mind?
Our dead guy's birthday. I'm thinking of another one. Art Bell.
Art Bell's birthday was today?
Yes, Art Bell. He was born today, 76 years ago, June 17th, 1945. And he passed away April 13th, 2018. So Art Bell's been on my mind all day.
Yeah, wow. Happy birthday, Art. And I'm sure he's listening, for sure. So, yeah, there you go. I missed that. I try to stay on top of my dead guys' birthdays. I certainly, if I would have known.
Art Bell is how I found you.
Yeah. And thank Art Bell for that. And thank you. Thank you. So what else is on your mind, Jay?
I was thinking about the first time I heard you on the radio. I believe it was Coast to Coast AM. You were making an episode about the Magé, Brazil UFO sighting with Johnny Enoch, and I've been following you ever since. The first time I ordered Fade to Black coffee, I ordered 5 pounds, and it was the best coffee experience of my life.
Yeah, that Fade to Black coffee is a game changer, man. And once you experience that, you realize one thing, that I don't hype it enough. Right? It is really that good. But, yeah, that Magé Brazil, when that kicked off, this was the funny thing for me about Magé, and thank you for bringing that up, Jay, is that as quick as it came, into the public, it got silenced. You couldn't find any information on it, and everything that was published on the net was removed. It was a bizarre thing to go through. And then everybody that was feeding me information out of Brazil, and I had 3 different sources, all the emails stopped. The emails started getting kicked back and undeliverable. And I was like, wow.
It reminded me of the Roswell cover-up.
Totally does. Totally does. There was a lot of names and facts and things that were presented in that were
disappeared.
It was investigatable, right? And I'm talking about
for 24 hours it was real.
Yeah, it took about a week, but I was getting emails and transcriptions and letters and photographs and things were coming in for about 3 days, and I'm replying back and I'm trying to compile the information on everything, and suddenly everything was gone. Everything was gone off of the net. And my 3 email sources out of Brazil, those email accounts were shut down. Yeah, pretty crazy. And that case is, there's nothing you can do about it now, unless you and I want to fly down to Brazil and talk to people. But other than that, investigation from this side, I can't get anything done.
So I have one question for you.
Sure.
What inspired you towards radio broadcasting?
Back in the day, I'm gonna go Dave Jenkins, out of L.A. He had a show like Art Bell's, but like 10 years before Art. It was called Open Minds on KABC. I was on Saturday nights, and that all of the UFOs and everything, but his stuff, and then I'm trying to think of. I think his name was Dave Schwartz out of Las Vegas right before Art. His shows were really, really good. And then Art came in about 5 years later in the early 90s, 91, 92, 93. And I knew at that point this is what I wanted to do. So I kind of did sports radio first, got through that after 2 or 3 years. And then when Art left the air for like the 6th time, that's when I slid in after Art left over on his network, and that's how I got started in this thing. So there you go. I appreciate it, Jay. Thank you so much, man. I got to get to a commercial. Enjoy yourself.
Thank you so much. Have a great night.
Yeah, you too, man. Thank you for the phone call. Art Bell's birthday today. Wow. Okay. Didn't know that. I missed it. I missed Art's for my dead guy's birthday today. Man, I almost feel a little guilty. Feel a little strange that one got by me. Happy birthday, Art. I am your host, Jimmy Church. This is Fade to Black on the Game Changer Network and KGRA, The Planet's Thursday night Fader Night. Open lines all night long. More of your phone calls are next after this short break. Stay with us.
Here, and you are listening to my boy Jimmy Church on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Despite popular opinion, reading a book will not make you smarter.
But listening to Jimmy
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and I take Life Change Tea supplements every single day. It's what I do. Click on their banner at jimmychurchradio.com. When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Yes, River Moon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today.
This is Billy Carson with ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. Forbidden Knowledge TV has just reached its 1-year anniversary. That's right, 1 year. And as a show of appreciation, we are giving all new subscribers a free 30-day trial of ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. That's 30 days to binge watch thousands of movies, documentaries, conferences, workshops, lectures, yoga classes, meditation courses, and so much more. So log on to ForbiddenKnowledge.tv from your computer or mobile device, or get the Forbidden Knowledge TV app on Apple TV, Roku, Amazon, iTunes, or Google Play today, and use coupon code 30daysfree. That's coupon code 30 days free on ForbiddenKnowledge.tv today.
Are you intrigued by Paranormal Talk Radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now, the Paranormal Radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
This is Erica, Brittany, Gabby, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
It's not a lifestyle we chose. We were born this way. KGRARadio.com.
This is KJCR at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Thursday night, Fadernight. Open lines all night long. 747-228-2051. 747-228-2051. I don't even know why I'm announcing the phone number right now. I've got a ton of calls on hold. And, somebody, okay, all right. Oh, caught me clean. See, that's what I do. Between the commercial breaks, I'm over there dusting the guitars. Let's see who's up next. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, this is Dylan from Hawaii. How you doing, Jimmy?
I'm doing good. And what's your name again? I'm sorry. I know you're in Hawaii.
Dylan.
Dylan, how are you, man?
Hey, how you doing? Hey, I just want to say sorry for your loss and appreciate what you do.
Yeah, thank you, man. And it's part of life, but it's harsh when you got to go through it. It's harsh. It's harsh. What's on your mind tonight, Dylan?
Hey, I just wanted to ask, where you're leaning on this phenomenon. I know you've been covering this for a long time. Like, do you believe these UFO sightings are from the ocean, another dimension, extraterrestrial, or from the military-industrial complex?
Yeah, I think. I think ultimately we're going to see a mix of things. I don't know what the DIA and the UAP task force. I don't know specifically what cases they looked at.
I'm going to say this, and I don't care who gets angry and who doesn't, but the video that has been released, right, like Jeremy Corbell's Flying Toasters video, that shows me nothing. All right, that's not extraterrestrial. Okay, Jeremy's video. There were and the thing with the balloon dropping below the horizon. I don't think that went into the water. I think that went below the horizon and maybe went into the water eventually. But that was an ET. That wasn't an ET craft. I'm not seeing anything. ET's not cruising around our military at 40 knots, right? 40 miles per hour cruise. I don't see anything extraordinary going on. So. That part of it, no. But that's not what is going to convince the military that it's not our tech, because those videos are clearly us, right? That's clearly our tech. But
let's just throw that out.
Right, you got to throw that part out. Totally right. Yeah. Throw that out. So what's left? I don't know the other sightings. I don't know what other pilots have come forward. I'm sure that they've talked to a bunch of them. I'm sure that there is classified video that hasn't and won't be leaked. You know, the stuff that went to Corbell, that's whatever. It's off of somebody's cell phone and doesn't show anything. That just shows our tech. Now, what's the stuff that we're not seeing, and what does the military know? Why did they have to go into a classified briefing room? They're not going to go into a classified briefing room, Dylan, with members of the House and show them the Flying Toasters video. No, they're not going to do that. I mean, there's not that's not top secret. It's already been leaked. You know, so what was it that was discussed there? I don't know. I really was surprised to see Andre. I think it's Andre Carlson. I could be wrong about his name. From Illinois, saying he wants public hearings on this. He wants this discussed in the public. That was awesome. You know, there's other claims out there that this could be backwards engineered tech from ET, and that's what we are seeing, that it is our tech, and this is part of a fake alien invasion, and all of that is a possibility too. I don't know. I do know this, and this is my statement that I make to the media all the time. I've seen stuff that I can't explain. You know, if I go to my flying beer can video sighting one more time to clearly say to everybody, that was not government tech. And I want this report to be about ET. I want discussions about our contact with ET out, front, forward. I want to know what the government knows. I know that I've got so many members of this audience and people that I talk to all the time that have had their experiences, have their sightings, abductions, and I want this ET knowledge to be brought out. Nobody wants that more than me. Period. That's it. The stuff that I've seen leaked from the report doesn't convince me of anything. That's not ET. I want the real stuff.
I guess on a macro level, what I'm trying to focus on just looking at it from as far as you can. On 70 years we've been doing this phenomenon. We've been manipulated by our government for 70 plus. You look at Susan Gao, what she's doing now. You look at MJ12. What is the purpose of it? And we know it's not foreign tech. There's going to be a mix of it, like you're saying. But like on a macro level, there has to be some type of consensus where we're leaning as a general public. We can't convince the people who are new to it, but on a general public, I mean, for the people that know and are in this community, where do you think now with the data where we're leaning? That's all I'm kind of asking. You can't just blame one thing. Yeah,
you can't. And I have warned this community the way that I warn myself, Dylan. Don't emotionally expect too much. Like this is going to be the answer to everything for you personally.
Exactly.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. If there's a little bit of that in there, great. If there's a lot of it, great. If there's none, great. There's nothing you can do about it. But don't stop making your mortgage payments, right? Don't do that. I don't think it's going to be that kind of life-changing report. It's going to open the door, certainly, to further discussion. And now we've come too far. We're not going to go backwards from this point, and that's the exciting part, Dylan.
All right. Well, thanks for the time. All right.
You're the best, man. Say hello to everybody in Hawaii for me.
Oh, definitely. All right, man. Take it easy.
You too, Dylan. Dylan's cool. That's a cool dude right there. Dylan is cool. Yeah, you just don't bet the farm on this one. Don't bet the farm. Just relax. According to Lue Elizondo earlier tonight, that report's coming out on time. It's coming out on the 24th. Let's go back to the phones.
Answer.
You got to turn me off. That's it. That's it. Man, when that stuff happens on the air, it's just somebody not ready, and that really bothers me. Let's go here next. This is Fade to Black. I've only got so much time tonight to get through these phone calls, but like I do every single week, I promise that I will get to them all. Let's see who is up next and if they are ready. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, Jimmy. This is McAllister in Seattle.
McAllister?
Yeah.
That's a cool name.
That's my first name.
Okay, right on, McAllister.
Thank you very much.
What's on your mind?
All right. Okay. I think things are going to start to look a lot different visually, like a sci-fi illustration out there. I think part of the intent of disclosure is to usher in an era of that technology that they've been keeping from us for so long, so that the sky is going to be full of airships that look like UFOs. And we already know they have fantastic surveillance, and I don't know why they do this, but I do think that's going to happen. I think they're acclimating us to that.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
100%. They're acclimating us. And they've been doing it for years. We've been talking about that, McAllister, for years. I think that we're all a little surprised that it actually played out that way because it's fun. And I mean this in the most sincere way. In the UFO community, we have us. So we're able to talk and conspiracies and theories and have fun presenting all of this stuff, our battle against the man. And one of the things that we talk about all the time is the drip, drip, drip of disclosure. I call it exposure. But, and so we can joke about it. That's us. That's our private world. We own that. And now we don't own it. In fact, what we joked about over beer and drinks and food and gatherings over the years, we may have joked about it, but I don't think that any of us expected it to actually happen. And now it has. Mm-hmm. It's a pretty bizarre thing. And so our little private thing that we had so much enjoyment with is now everybody else's too. And that kind of blows it for me. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
Right? And now
it was our club.
Exactly. And it's not that kind of party anymore, man. It kind of bums me out. It was our own little thing, and we certainly owned it. But you're right, McAllister. They've acclimated us, and they've done a good job. So much so that the rest of the world really doesn't give a crap. Right? That's a well-engineered disinformation campaign.
Yeah, and I think they feel forewarned about threats from other countries, and they're just going full out to take care of everything.
Man, you are smart.
Thank you. Well, I was kind of nervous to call.
Why?
Because I think the way you're put together, that you're a wonderful, what do I say, DJ?
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'll go with DJ.
And yeah, I just think I go to your show every night, and I just think you're enjoyable and everything.
Thank you so much, McAllister. And you know how much I love first-time callers. I'm glad that you weren't that nervous. And it was a great phone call. And now the next time you call, it's going to be all good.
All good.
Thank you so much, McAllister. Enjoy the rest of your night.
You're welcome. Yeah, you too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. That's a great call. Right there. That's why we do Fadernight. Right there. Right there. Bam. Right there. That's exactly right there is what this show is all about. Right there. Thank you so much, McAllister. I look forward to the next time you call. I love Seattle, by the way. I've been going to Seattle. My first trip up was right after the 1990. That was my first. No, I was in Seattle before that. Oh, of course. 1989. I went there with the Big F and Soundgarden. We did a couple of shows. And then I went back 1990 and spent a weekend up there. And then I vacationed up there, visited, been through all the islands and stayed at Bainbridge Island twice, rented a cottage over there, and even drove up to the northwesternmost Port Angeles. Went to Port Angeles and in Washington, jumped on a ferry and took that to Victoria. Now, when I say these things, I've been to Washington a lot, been to Seattle a lot, and I just love that town. Love that town. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy, it's your buddy Plan B out of New York.
Plan B out of New York. How you doing, man?
Good. How you doing tonight? Just caught the show, kind of on the tail end. I was at work. I'm hanging out, calling in.
You missed what happened earlier?
I missed the Lue segment.
Yeah, you did. You got to go and re-listen to that. He flew a mission tonight. He flew a mission and dropped a few bombs. That's right.
Oh, well,
yeah,
that's good, even though my Lue gets my blood pressure a little boiled up, you know what? I'm not the biggest Lue fan, Jimmy, I got to admit. People in the chat know I'm not the Lue lover.
No, I've made that very public many, many times. Many times. What I do appreciate about Lue, and I really mean this, he knows that the two of us have butted heads. All right, that's fine. He doesn't care. I don't care. He will answer my questions. He asks questions of me, and he knows that no matter what, he can come on the show and we can have an honest, open conversation about just about anything, like we did tonight. We talked about our parents tonight, and we talked about UFOs, of course, but and that's what I appreciate about Lue. And you have to respect the man for that. I do. I have an immense amount of respect for that. I have Plan B. This is the truth. I very rarely agree with everybody or anybody. If I agreed with every guest that came on the show, with every researcher that came on this show, think about how complex and wrong things would be in my head. I can't agree with everybody. Yeah, you're right. How is that possible? ET is good. ET is bad. Abductions are real. Abductions are fake. My labs, ghosts, life after death, spirituality, the UFO issue, Bigfoot. Right? If we just spent all of our waking moments on this program agreeing with everybody. It's impossible. Everybody can't be right. So what I do is listen to everybody. I can't agree with everybody, and I agree with very little because I don't know. I'm just trying to figure it out, right? And that's the truth.
Hey, I hear you. And I'm always disagreeing a lot too, and I feel bad a lot. I feel like people, sometimes they get like a misinterpretation, like I'm sort of being a hater or whatever it is. But I've been following this UFO story for 30 some odd years now. I mean, it's getting very exciting, sure, but I gotta have that. We gotta get the ball over the goal line here. I need some solid evidence here. Like you said, with the Corbell videos and all that, it's not getting the job done for me.
Right.
And
right.
And I'm getting frustrated, Jimmy.
Well, you know why you're frustrated? Because there's so much information right now coming at us that we have to digest. Yeah, we have to. Now, you know what? The alternative is we don't go through this and we sit on our hands. That would suck, right? So let's just continue to enjoy the moment. I hope that all of this continues. If you think about where we were last week, right before 2 weeks ago, before I went to UFO MegaCon, and how crazy things were, breaking fluid things, and everything that was going on.
Hot.
And I go to UFO MegaCon, it didn't slow down. Absolutely heated up every single day. I'm following this, I'm listening, and I get back from UFO MegaCon, and it couldn't get any crazier, and then it does. Right? We've got the U.S. House, right? A subcommittee in a secret chamber, man, hermetically sealed, right? Getting a debriefing on UFOs, and and the comments that Lue made to the Washington Examiner. I didn't get a chance to ask him about that tonight, but he made some pretty extraordinary statements out there. And here we are rolling in, and Lue said the things that he said tonight. So I think clearly we know that report is coming out on the 24th. Lue said it tonight on the air. It better not be late. Lue's credibility is on the line. He said a lot of things tonight, very direct about that report, and he had better be right. Right, I didn't have to say anything. That was all of Lue's statements, and I hope that everything he said, because it would be great if it's exactly as he laid it out tonight, but that will establish Lue's credibility and strengthen it, not only with the UFO community, but with the rest of the world and with the media. That Lue is something to be dealt with. So that's what makes this show tonight so exciting. It got hot in here, man. I was like, wow, okay. You're gonna make
I'm sorry I missed it.
Oh, you're gonna go back and listen to it. Plan B.
Oh yeah, I'll listen to it, of course.
Enjoy the rest of your night, man. I'm gonna try to squeeze in a couple of more calls before the end of the show. Thank you so much.
All right, Jimmy, fade to black.
Fade to black. That's what I'm talking about. Plan B out of New York. All right, man, looking at the clock. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Yeah, this is Bob, Uncle Bob from California.
Hey, Bob, how are you, man?
I'm fantastic, brother, man. Good to hear from you.
It's good to hear from you. You called me.
Well, good to hear you.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Okay, what's on your mind?
Well, I was going. There was two things. I was going to touch on this UFO thing. When I was in 6th grade, about 10 years old, growing up in the Bay Area, we used to hike the Mission Peak. And one time we were hiking there, these TR3B things, the big giant triangles?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. We were hiking up the Mission Peak, and one of those came in and came down. It was so huge, it was as big as a football field, right? And but what made it so real was it came down, and we were actually sitting on the hill above it, looking down on it. It just made it so, just like, hey, this is really going on, And so when we came back the next day in Mission Peak, we're hiking back, and there was the cow wasn't mutilated or nothing like that, but there was a dead cow there.
Huh.
You know?
Wow.
And,
wow.
And that started, like I said, when I was 10 years old. And then I moved out here to the valley. Right now I'm in Bernales, the armpit of California. But out in Modesto and stuff, me and my son, we seen, what was it, 9 of them come out of the sky. They look like, you know what, when you're going to fry an egg and you crack the shell, put it in the pan, how it looks when while it starts cooking? It looked like that. It looked like it was a orangish yellow ball with like an egg white around it that was all moving, but they all kept coming out of the same spot in the sky about 3 telephone poles high right over the house, right here in Modesto, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so my wife, she doesn't believe in UFOs, but she's all, hey, UFOs! So we went out and we look at them, and like say 9 of them, you see 1, all right, you see 2, hell yeah. And then you see like 9 of them, you're starting to think of invasion, right? And but they just cruised off towards the Modesto airport there, and then just slowly faded away. You know, but
wow! Class A sighting, man. Class A sightings, and
yeah, you know, and I've always wanted to meet an alien. You know, I mean, I'm kind of scared of them, but not really. You know, I'm hoping it's like that movie Paul. You know, it's like, hey, what are you smoking?
You know, there's a funny thing about Paul. It's funny. Bob, I thought the movie's funny. It's great. But I thought to myself, it just seems too real to me.
Doesn't it?
Yeah, and so did E.T. If you go back to the original E.T. with Spielberg, it just felt too real to me. You know, and I know I'm looking at a fake puppet. Yeah. I know that I'm looking at CG. I'm not talking about that part. I'm talking about the experience itself.
Itself, yeah,
absolutely.
Exactly.
Well, I got to, hey, Bob, I got to get to credits here and wrap up the show. Thank you so much for calling in.
Okay. And remember when the Bay Area used to be the rock and roll capital of the world?
Yep.
Yeah, I was going to Williamson High School, and I introduced Dave Meniketti to Leonard Hayes.
You know what? Dave Meniketti and Y&T are as rock and roll as anything. Thank you so much, man. Enjoy your night. Thank you so much, Bob.
Good talking to you, man. I'll talk to you next Thursday then, I guess. Huh?
Absolutely, man. Have a great weekend. Dave Meniketti, Y&T, yesterday and today. Man. I saw them probably saw them 3 or 4 times. Absolutely. Man, Dave Meniketti. I knew when he said rock and roll, I somehow felt he was going to go straight to the Dave Meniketti card. And you have to. Dave Meniketti was rock and roll. Great singer, even more amazing of a guitar player. And it's so funny when I think of Y&T and Dave Meniketti, am I thinking of the singer or am I thinking of the guitar player? He had a good drummer, too. I'm trying to think of his drummer's name. Anyway, Bob, thank you for that. What an amazing Fadernight tonight. You just never know how it's going to unfold. You just don't. Buelant Hansen, thank you so much for calling in. That video is incredible. Can't wait to see it. Lue Elizondo, our thoughts and prayers are with you and your family. Great phone call tonight, and that was some big information, and I'm going to have to digest that. Fade to Black's executive producers, Rita Camurian. Show is produced by Hilton J. Palm, Renee, Dennis, and Kevin. Announcers are Steve Harder, Gene Vito, and Mark D. Kovar. Webmaster is Drew the Geek. Music, Doug Aldrich. Intro, Spaceboy. SpaceboyMusic.com. Fade to Black is produced by KJCR for the Game Changer Network. YouTube, I'm watching you right here. Just to let you know. YouTube, I'm watching you. Makai, Alper, Josh, Nalacious, is that what that is? Missy C, thank you, Zen Zabil, thank you for everything that you do. Paranormal Multiverse, Lunar Sparkle. See, I'm reading it right here. Anonymous. You guys are the best. I want everybody to have a great weekend. Fade to Black is owned and copyrighted 2021 by Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network, Inc. It cannot be rebroadcast, downloaded, copied, or used anywhere in the known universe without written permission from Fade to Black or the Game Changer Network. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. I'll see everybody on Monday. Until then, it's time to fade to black.